Hi. Welcome on board, Miss Lily Ma.
Hello,
How,
happy birthday.
thank you. Oh my goodness. From all the way from Thailand, I get a how Alicia Allah. Hi.
Hi,
I,
you also get a happy birthday from Bali.
oh my
Aw.
God.
And
Dream
from Santa Cruz.
Santa Cruz and
Happy
Germany.
birthday.
Oh, sweet.
Aw. John McCarville's joining us too. And we can find out where he's from. And Jean is in Santa Cruz. Oh, welcome everyone. I'm so glad you could come to my birthday party / let's clear some intense full moon energy. And how is everyone? So this is some big energy. Are you all feeling it? Are you feeling it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I woke up today and I was like, dang. I was like, this is my birthday, y'all. Like, I'm not gonna deal with this. And I tuned into the collective energy and I was like, I think that's why I chose to do this challenge over this time period, because I felt a really big energetic that we're dealing with in the collective. Yeah. And so what that is, if you're wondering what that intensity or depth is that today the planet Pluto, which is the planet of depth, intensity, and transformation, is in a square to both the sun and the moon. And this can be like one of those moments where you transform on a big level. Yeah. So there's two ways of looking at this. One is I've hit an obstacle and I can't get through it. Or the other one is that pressurization of that force is something we push into and then we expand around. Okay. And so that is what has allowed me to kind of get through today. Was like, I was like, oh my God, it's my birthday. I'm feeling this and it's so intense. And it's like I've been thinking about being born, right? And being birthed and like the process of birth and how Pluto is in some ways a lot like birth, right? It's so deep, it's so profound, it's so powerful. And so I'd like to invite you all to think about today, this full moon as like a rebirth opportunity. Okay. And I also was thinking to just, because the full moon literally just peaked at 4:48 p.m., that maybe we should start the class with some energy clearing, because I don't think anyone can think straight right now. Like, I don't know about you, but today I was like waves, just like waves of energy, waves of emotion. You could feel the collective. Um, the moon is an amplifier, right? So when the moon is that big and she's talking to Pluto, Pluto is transformation, it's depth. Pluto is the god of the underworld. Whoa, whoa, do we want to hang out with Pluto, the god of the underworld? And I was thinking about the concept of death and rebirth and how kind of scary the concept of death is if we look at it from a human place. But if we look at death from what's really real, is death even really real? Is it real, right? Or is it simply a name we've given a process that we don't fully comprehend or experience here in the Western culture very well, right? In Mexico and other cultures, death is a celebration. Actually, it's a rebirth because there's the awareness that our soul is eternal. And so I was meditating. I was like, wow, I get to talk about all this stuff tonight. Like, wow, lucky me. This is a moment for my birthday. Holy cow. And so I've had all these sort of death related conversations coming up. I worked with a friend um, who has a dear beloved friend who'd passed, and that soul needed help to transition. And so one of the things that I do, that I specialize in, that God has gifted me this ability, is to midwife souls who have passed into the next realm. Now, this is not the easiest job. I'll admit it, and I run from it almost every day. Like, "Nah." But the truth is that we're eternal. And so there isn't really anything to be afraid of once we get into that expandedness. And so the sign that rules Scorpio is or the sign associated with Pluto is Scorpio. And Scorpio, right, has 3 incarnations or symbols of animal. Okay, so it starts out as a scorpion that like scuttles around on the ground and we're like all afraid of it, right? Like, oh, the scorpion, you know, we don't want to go near the scorpion. It could sting us, it could kill us, right? So that's one incarnation of it. Then as it grows, as the sign of Scorpio grows and matures, it rises and ascends into the next dimension, which is the eagle. Talk about a transition. Talk about a shift. What happened? Hi, John. What happened for the scorpion to ascend into the eagle? Well, think about it. Let's think about this for a moment. So think about the scorpion scuttling along on the ground. What can it see? It can see the ground, right? It's like hugging. It's like belly is on the earth. Now, what is the eagle looking at? It's up really high. It's soaring through the clouds. It can see the big picture. Yeah. Yeah. And so death, rebirth, transformation. If we're really close to what's happening and our bellies on the earth and all we're looking at is the issue or challenge that the world is bringing to us, we're going to be stuck on the ground and we're not going to go anywhere. However, if we take a moment to take a step back, to rise up a little bit higher from a higher perspective, that is when we have the opportunity to ascend and see the duality, right? And see the illusion. Like when I say the word death, and it's like, and we drop down into the fear belly of the scorpion. I'm talking about Pluto right now, John. Pluto is activating that full moon that we're having. So Pluto's like in the middle between the sun and the moon, kind of in this square relationship. And if you don't know about astrology, that's fine. We'll get into this a bit more. But that energetic can be a bit intense. And I was talking about how there could be a lot of awareness around death or birth or rebirth or transformation or intensity right now with this full moon. And that can collectively bring up a lot of fear in the world. And so I was like, well, let's just meet this. Let's meet it, because fear is an illusion, right? False evidence appearing real. So that's all it is an illusion. But sometimes the illusion appears to be very, very real. Okay. So scorpion rising up into the eagle. And I was thinking about death. I was like, death. And I was seeing this like dark portal. I was like, death, oh no. And then I was like, wait a minute. And then I had this image of Jesus. And I saw this like being of white light come, and it was like, he ascended and he taught us that death is an illusion, right? Death is simply an opportunity to transform and to be reborn into the spirit. And the spirit is eternal. And I went, oh, all day long I've been forgetting the truth of who I am. Okay? And so that's really important, because the sun is I am, right? The sun is just pure beingness, pure presence. It's the soul. And the moon is emotion, right? It's nurturing, it's that intuitive self. And so when you have Pluto in between the sun and the moon today at the full moon, we get this opportunity to go deep, both emotionally and spiritually. Now, would you agree that our society, for the most part, likes to keep things pretty shallow or superficial, or like not quite touching the meat of our beingness? And so I want to invite you all to be in a safe container tonight, to feel safe, to transmute, transform, and to heal whatever you need to heal. Okay, so I'm going to share screen for a moment here. And you know what I want to do is I want to play a song. So I was like working through my own process, and I was like, what do I do to shift this energy? And I came across this song that so beautifully embodies the juxtaposition of a sun being in Aries today. Aries is the I am. Aries is the individual. It's our identity. It says, I am here. I am here to begin. I am a pioneer. I am a starter. Okay. And Pluto asks us to go deep and to transform. And so I came across this song. I was like, you know what? Let's put this music on to start this event, to start this day, and just kind of get us into the spirit of courageousness to be able to transform anything that comes our way by acknowledging it, by allowing it, by receiving what is, especially in the arms of each other, right? In this loving space. There's so many heartfelt people here. And John, I know you're new, but I know everyone here. I've worked with everyone and such beautiful, heartfelt, divine people. And John is such a treasure. I've been following him on social media, and he is just constantly uplifting people and focusing on the positive. And I'm just like, man, what a treasure to be around so many beautiful people. And so any challenges you might be dealing with, anything coming up for you, just know that when we bring it into the realm of the infinite, which is that space that we hold together, it evaporates. Yeah, nothing dark or shadowy or negative can survive in the infinite love of all that is. It just disappears. It just becomes love itself. Okay, so I'm going to share screen and we can hear some beautiful music together and tap into this vibration of transformation that we have the opportunity right now. We have the opportunity to dive deep. We have the opportunity to transform. We have the opportunity to feel maybe more deeply than normal. And yeah, that can be scary, but it's also a gift. It's also beautiful. So the name of this band is Satsang. Right? And they're kind of like a spiritual yogic group. But sometimes in the midst of intensity, we have to remember who we are, right? We have to claim back our I am spirit. And that's what Aries energy, that's what Sun in Aries is all about. So I invite you to just like tap into this, dance, move if you feel it, and just allow this inspiration to kind of draw us into what the energetics of the astrology are right now. Okay, they are profound, profound. All right, here we go.
Cause I know what I am in past, yeah. When I no longer need validation. Cause my story is long and I'm patient. I know that I have lessons to learn. Keep my eyes open each step I earn, yeah. No need for me to feel alone, cause I got a place that I call home. Every single road travel, every single new place, I come back home, they accept me with grace, yeah. When I know that I was meant to be here, and I know that I was born into fear, but I will stand tall in the lion's den, cause I know in my heart I am one of them. That there are lies in the facets of everything that we see, that are telling us to be scared when all we ever are is free. I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me no more, cause I am holy and sacred and righteous and true, and I deserve to be here, and so do you. Said I deserve to be here. But I'm in a constant transition, constantly changing vision. Story never certain, there is always a revision to be made. When I think about the demons I have slayed, I am not afraid of confrontation in vain. To the people that seek evil, not as peaceful as I look. With a warrior at heart, so precaution must be took. What I'm trying to give in to the lessons that will soften my ways and means of changing, cause I talk to spirit often. Tell me to stay sharp, tell me to stay present, tell me to ignore the fools and focus on the sin. Well, I said I will starve my ego and I will remain strong. I will make mistakes and I will often be wrong. When I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm only here to learn, and all the evil on the path path gets burned. I said I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm only here to learn. On all the evil on the path gets burned. But there are lies in the facets of everything that we see, that are telling us to be scared when all we ever are is free. I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me no more, 'cause I am holy and sacred and righteous and true, and I deserve to be here, and so do you. Pressure always come from the outside. Try not to let it in where I reside. Well, this is my heart, my home, my choice, my love, my life, my path, my voice. Yeah. Well, I feel my heart grow with each step. Stand firm in where the path goes next. Well, I know that where it goes is where I need to be. The more lessons rain down, more blessings I see. Yeah. So there are lies in the facets of everything that we see, that are telling us to be scared when all we ever are is free. I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me no more, 'cause I am holy and sacred and righteous and true, and I deserve to be here, and so do you.
Woo! All right. Awesome. Awesome, my friends. So thank you for joining me on that little journey. Aries is the warrior, right? You feel that warrior energy in that song, like this sense of like claiming who you are, like owning it. I deserve to be here, and so do you. But there is this sharing of the collective as well, that we all deserve to be here, right? We all deserve to be here. We are sacred, we are holy, we are righteous, we are true. That is the energetics of this full moon. And I just wanted to help bring that current through of Sun and Aries. Like, what is that? You know, what is Aries energy? Like, it is a righteousness. It is like a sense of, I am here. I always see like a warrior with its like its spear, with its sword, like raising them up to battle, but to do battle for good, right? To do battle for love, to do battle for our truth, for bringing peace, right? To do battle for peace, which is such an oxymoron. But what we're here for is different than what it used to be. We're not here to be the normal warrior anymore. We're not here to fight war. We're here to fight for love, which is an interesting oxymoron in itself. And so how do we step into the love path and have that warrior spirit? And I just love that song to kind of bring that energy together for us. So I'm gonna go ahead and share screen, and we can kind of get started into the class tonight. And I will definitely do introductions and tune into what we're going to create tonight, because I think it's going to be beautiful. So last night we went over some powerful stuff, and the main focus, why I brought everyone together, was my sense that we all have these spiritual gifts. If I know you, if we're friends, you have a spiritual gift and you have a spiritual mission. Like, there is no doubt in my mind. I will just be fully upfront about what I perceive. I perceive that we're all on this divine mission on this earth to channel and bring through a higher consciousness and to uplift the planet. Yeah. And we have gifts that we're here to contribute. We have things that are needed. Every one of us, I see as having like a divine piece of the puzzle, right? Where we are each contributing a part of this beautiful tapestry, right? So it is literally our light that is lighting up this world. Your light, Lily Ma and Stefan and John. It is our light within us that is creating the light that fuels this earth and this world to be what it is. Each day, every moment we wake up, gosh, am I contributing? What am I giving? Oh my God, if you could but see the true reality of what your presence brings. If you could but remember the gifts that you're bringing through. Every moment, just in this moment right now, as we share this breath, we are literally lighting up the planet, right? Because when you bring one, two, or more together, holy is that, sacred is that, multiplied by massive amounts is that, right? So it is your light that lights the world. And so with that gift that we each have, then we get into the nitty-gritty of survival on a planet that's material. We get into paying bills. What are those? What is that? We get into food and shelter and sustenance for our physical bodies. And yet, on another hand, we are spiritual beings that have a divine mission that are here to serve the planet with every holy sacred breath. This is a little bit of an interesting conundrum when our world that we've come into is not structured very well. Would you agree? It is not structured very well for the happiness, health, well-being, and love of all the beings and citizens here. It wasn't created for our happiness and well-being. It doesn't feel that way, at least not the societal structure of work and job. It's all off, right? You're not the one who is off. It is our societal structure that is just not engineered properly. That's all. It's just not engineered properly. And so the question then becomes, being these divine spiritual beings on a soul-led mission, how do we translate our spiritual gifts into value, monetary value, and income so that we can both bring our spiritual gifts through and be paid and compensated in a way that allows us to feed ourselves, our families, to support our children? How do we do that? Okay. And so as I've been studying astrology for many years now, I have begun to tap into some really cool things that can be shown in an astrological chart. One of them is called Chiron, which is like our deepest wounding, okay? And so one of the issues with sharing our spiritual gifts, on one hand, is are we able to share them, right? If money was no issue, could you go out tomorrow? Hey, John. Could you go out tomorrow? There he is. Could you go out tomorrow and share your spiritual gifts? No problem, right? So that's number one. Could we just share them? No problem. That's the first hurdle. Hurdle number two is, could we then allow ourselves to receive value and payment for that service that we give on a spiritual level? Okay. So the first thing I've noticed with the astrological chart is that if we can look at Chiron in someone's chart and some other key things, which I'll go into, we can kind of discern where the block is around you really letting your spiritual truth come through, right? So I kind of blew my mind because I found out where mine was last year, last May. I found out where my Chiron was, and I found out how it all lined up to my spiritual mission and my path. And I was like, holy F, this has been blocking me my whole friggin' life. And it's been almost a year and I've still been on the path of healing it. But I have to tell you something. Something has changed, right? I'm here with you. And something has shifted in me over the last year that, my God, I would never have been where I am if I hadn't found this little piece of information out about Chiron. I wouldn't. I would still be having the issue, but I wouldn't have identified what it was. And I'd be lost and confused and struggling. And I thought about all my brothers and sisters out there, and I thought, holy wow, you all have this Chiron placement that could be one of the big hurdles for you that is blocking you from really choosing that spiritual path. And what is it? Well, it's usually a trauma. It's a trauma from a past life. It's a trauma from something that happened. And we have the astrological map that will show us what part of the body is it affecting. Because the astrological signs relate to body parts. Did y'all know that? Right? I didn't know that for the longest time. So we're gonna play a little game here just to kind of go over the signs. so I can show you how the body and astrology are connected. Okay, so just put your hands on your head. Can anyone guess what sign our heads relate to in astrology? And you can unmute and share if you can guess.
Hmm.
All right, this is
Pisces.
you're very close, but actually that would be the opposite. That would be the feet.
Okay.
No, this is perfect. Pisces is the last sign of the zodiac. So it's the feet. So what, does anyone know what the first sign of the zodiac is?
I don't
Aries.
know.
Virgo?
Aries. Yeah, remember that
Okay.
song we just sang? Sun and Aries, the head. Now I want you to think about being born for a minute. What comes out first?
The head.
Ideally. Yeah. So Aries are headstrong. They do things first. They take action first. Can you feel that energy of acting without just like, you're just like going, right? That's the head. Now, do we always want to lead with the head? No. No. So Aries need to work on slowing down and listening and not going so fast. Okay. Now we come to the throat. So the next sign, does anyone know what comes next in the zodiacal wheel after Aries? And if you don't,
Taurus.
Taurus. Yeah, so Taurus is how we speak and communicate. It rules the throat, right? So if we have any issues with our throats, we might want to look at what? Taurus. We might want to see, where do we have Taurus in our chart? Okay. You kind of get a sense here, right? How our astrological chart can be affected by, right, our bodies. Okay, now we're going to come to our arms. So we're coming to the third sign in the zodiac. And this is around June 21st when we hit this sign. Anyone know what the third sign is? And I'm making this extra challenging because y'all, I know a lot of you just don't even know about astrology, and that's fine, but you're going to know it after tonight.
Cancer.
Go ahead, Stefan. What'd you?
Gemini?
Gemini. So Gemini, this is Gem in I is like two things, isn't it? Gem in I. So there's two parts. Rules the arms. It relates to two. It's how we move through life. We move, we manipulate, we learn. Gemini is always learning. It's always engaging with the currents of life. It's the communicator, right? We communicate through our hands a lot, right? Sign language. Gemini rules language. Okay. Now we're going to come to our, what are we going to come? We're going to come to our breasts. Oh, I love it. I haven't really taught to a mixed crowd in a long time, so this is cracking me up. So breasts are the fourth sign in the zodiac. Breasts, and let me get you a little help here. Breasts relate to the fourth sign of the zodiac. So here's some of the symbols. Okay. So we started with Aries. That was the head. Yeah. We came to the throat. Taurus.
Taurus.
We came to the arms. Gemini.
Gemini.
Gemini is the student and the teacher. Like Gemini loves to learn. Whenever you see Gemini, it's like constantly engaging and learning. Okay. It's also the networker. It's the communicator. It loves to share information. So when people have a lot of Gemini, they usually talk a lot. And I have to confess, I have Gemini for my career house. So communication is what I do best with that. But you can always be like, shh, Lotus, it's so much talking. Okay, so that brings us to the fourth one, which is our boobies or our chest, whichever one you want to claim. And it's this symbol here, which is the 69, which is Cancer. It's really supposed to be about a crab, but you know, our world is what it is, and that's become a symbol for all kinds of other fun stuff. But Cancer is not what the symbol looks like. It's about oh, hey. It's about the home. So think about the breast and nourishment. Think about mommy, home. That's what Cancer is all about. Y'all are going to learn astrology better than you ever have before because we're doing this hands-on and you get to touch and feel and engage with it. Now, what happens after think about Aries, we've been born. Taurus, we've spoken. Gemini, we've like gone out and shared what we've learned.
Oh.
Cancer, we've come home and gotten nourished, right? We have to eat our peanut butter and jelly sandwich after school. We have to have our snacks with mom. We got to like get our hugs from mom and dad and be with the family. That's what Cancer is all about. Then we come to Leo. Whoa, Leo is the heart. Does everyone put your hands
Sure.
on your heart for a moment? Yeah. Leo is the heart. Guess what planet rules Leo? The sun. So the sun and the heart. That makes sense, doesn't it? Right? The sun and the heart. Okay. And so we shine. Leo loves to shine. Have you noticed that when our hearts are open, we shine the best? When our hearts are involved, that's like, oh, we're just like radiant. And that's why Leo and the heart are connected. Okay. So why am I sharing all these signs and symbols and body parts? I want to reveal to you how accurate, how the astrological chart relates to our everyday, right? It's not just something up in the sky or in the stars. It is being activated in a way to learn about ourselves and our world and our life in a very touchable, tangible way that we can utilize every day. Okay. So Leo comes to Virgo. I want everyone to put your hand on your gut, on your tummy, on your digestive organs. Virgo is an earth sign, right? So think about when we digest food, we're creating material sustenance, right? So Virgo is all about us kind of being here. What do we need to be here? We need food, we need water, we need shelter, we need herbs, right? To heal ourselves from being sick. Virgo relates to herbology. It's the doctor sign. How many times do you know people go to the doctor for a stomach ache, right? Or you tell your mom, oh, I'm sick, right? That's the health. Virgo is all about health and healing. It's the doctor. It's the nurse. It's the person who serves those who are unwell. Okay, so wherever you have Virgo, which is this green one, Virgo relates to how we serve others. So if you have a ton of Virgo, guess what? You're probably someone who serves a lot of people, right? Now, here's the issue with Virgo. Does anyone here give too much? Does anyone here give, and never receive because you always give? That is Virgo's challenge. And interestingly, the moon, which is our emotional field, is in Virgo tonight with the full moon. Moon emotion. Have you been working too hard? Have you been giving too much? That's Virgo. You can always feel it in your gut when Virgo is like off center. Virgo is our balance point, right? Are we tending to our health? Are we tending to our self-care? Virgo will tell us. Okay, so now we're at our gut. We're feeling. Virgo is teaching us what we need through our body, right? Virgo is the body. It's physical being. Nothing brings you back into your body than sensing what your tummy is saying, right? It just pulls you in to the moment. And so Virgo is very much here and now. And planning ahead, stocking the reserves for the pantry to make sure you have enough food to last the winter. It's the harvest time. Virgo happens around September 14th. So it's the harvest time. It's the gathering time. It's the bring all the wheat in from the fields and bring those out to the world. So most of these astrological signs are related to nature. They're related to the seasons. Just like Aries is the start of the zodiacal wheel, it begins in April. It begins with the spring. And then you come to Taurus, and it's like the high point of spring. It's that full blossoming of spring. And you come to Gemini, and it's the summer months when you're starting to share with more people. You're starting to go out and expand to others. And then Cancer, July. You kind of come home then, right? 4th of July, patriotism, the country. We stand up for what we believe in. We support our family. You come to Leo in August. Oh, it's time to get in that fast car and enjoy that last part of the summer. That's what Leo energy is. Flashy, center stage, performers. This is like, you wouldn't believe how many performers and actors are born in August, especially after August 10th. So many actors and performers. They love the spotlight. They're ruled by the sun. They're the stage themselves, right? And then it all shifts again as we go into the harvest months with Virgo, where we're all about serving now, right? We've kind of got our yayas out. Now it's back to school. It's back to, September. It's to the harvest and study and practicality and getting our schedules in order. Then we come to Libra. What's Libra? Libra is relationships. Oh, everyone reach back behind you to your kidneys. I got 2 of those, right? 2 kidneys. Hopefully, ideally, most of us do. Some have 3. So Libra, I know, pretty bizarre. Libra, you can see how it's 2 parts, just like we have 2 kidneys. Libra is the scales of balance. So after Virgo has brought in the harvest, Libra balances everything. Balances it, right? Make sure we're even. It relates to marriage and relationships. You notice you got to kind of feel safe in a relationship for it to work. The kidneys relate to feeling safe. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. That brings us to Scorpio. So after we've hit marriage season in November, we hit Scorpio at the end of November. Scorpio is sex. So if you want, that's the reproductive organs. That's sexuality. That is the power and force. So sexual energy is not bad. Sexual energy is energy that you get to choose what you do with it. Do you keep it down in the lower chakras? It's just pure raw sexual life force energy. Or can you learn to alchemize it and raise it up into the higher chakras? And then you become like the eagle again. So sexuality in Scorpio, the scorpion, down in the reproductive, centers, or raising it up into the eagle. That is our choice as human beings around sexuality and around life force in general. Do we stay in the bottom or do we raise it? Scorpio has that option. It can be really bad, really raw, really just like, rah, or it can be transcendent. It can be like being birthed anew. It can be like rising out of the ashes. The symbol, the 3rd symbol for Scorpio is the phoenix. Rebirth. Rebirth, right? So Scorpio energy is good for when you need that rebirth. You need to go through the fires of transformation. Guess what what planet rules Scorpio? Pluto. Yeah, that's why the whole intro to this talk. You're like, where is she going with this? Yeah, that's where that's coming from. Okay, now we get to this one. This is the 13th sign. And y'all, I'll get the replay up tonight for yesterday's class where I dove into what is Ophiuchus, the 13th sign. So for those of you that are new, Ophiuchus is the great energy master. It is about mastering our energy to ascend to higher levels of our being. It is about the ancient secret sacred mysteries that were taught in the temples. They were taught to the elite classes. They were taught to priests and priestesses. And my guess, if you're here, you are someone who was there. You were someone being taught these ancient secrets. And so you found this work because you're like, yeah, I kind of remember what you're talking about here. Like, this is sort of familiar. And so Ophiuchus was cut off from the zodiacal wheel for thousands of years until about 8 years ago when NASA released that there was a 13th constellation called Ophiuchus, the snake tamer. Did you know we have 2 lines of energy running up our spine called the Ida and the Pingala? And they represent John's like, yeah, Yeah. The feminine and the masculine. Ophiuchus, as you can see here, the symbol has two lines, right? And then one that goes down the middle. It is representative of taming our own snake, right? Snake being energy, snake being life force, snake being kundalini energy. Do we allow our energy to be in the lower chakras, or do we raise the kundalini up to the crown of the head and become transcendent, right? Become illuminated. Ophiuchus is the path to mastering that process. So wherever you have Ophiuchus in your chart speaks to where you have training. What arena of your life did you dive deepest in the secret sacred mystery schools around this process? Wow. Yeah, it's full on. We're playing full on. I'm not surprised we're a small group because what we're going into is profound. I only attract people who are so pure of heart because what we're actually diving into is actually pretty profound in its power and knowledge. And I literally feel shields around my work. And so if you get in to hear this information, then you are allowed to be here, right? You are aligned to a higher integrity, and you will hold this knowledge with respect and care, because knowing this gives you quite a lot of power. And power is only really useful when it's combined with love. It's really only useful when we can blend it with our hearts, right? Power can corrupt, power can destroy, but love is the sustaining force of the entire universe. And so when we allow the knowledge, the sacred knowledge, to mix with the love of our hearts and to raise energy up to that place, we can transform anything. We become masters of truth. And that's really what Jesus taught, right? That's really what the sacred masters are really working to get us to remember, right? Is love, and to love one another, right? To see each other as our brothers and sisters, and to treat everyone as the spark of light that we are, right? We're all just this divine droplet in this big ocean that is the oneness, and we're all in it. We're all one with it. And so we get to see that oneness in each other, okay? So I'm a little shy saying what part of the body this represents, but I would say that it relates to the pathway from the sexual organs to the crown of the head, and that the choice of whether you stay fixated in sensation or you raise your sexual tantric experience to energetic transmutation, that's in your ball court, right? That's what you get to choose. But that is the option that Ophiuchus gives us to shift into a higher frequency and a higher energy. And so if you're on this call, you probably learned about sexual transmutation in a past life. This is probably not new. It may not be something you've pursued in this life, or maybe it has, but it is an option that the world is still learning about on a bigger scale, still learning about. And so things like Kundalini yoga, or even dancing or singing, right? Singing is an incredible way to raise lower energy up to higher, right? Loving, raise that energy up. That's all we do to bring, when we do that, we really raise the frequency everywhere. So now we've gotten down to the thighs. And so it's funny because Sagittarius here, the symbol is the centaur. The symbol is a horse, part man. You think about a horse, it has the biggest thighs almost anywhere on the planet, right? So it kind of makes sense that the thighs would be the area of the body that Sagittarius rules. It's about running. It's about like exercise. Sagittarius loves to roam across the land, right? It loves to be free. Okay. So interesting how we're now down in the thighs. It's like we've grounded all this other energy. We're down into the thighs. You're feeling the stability they provide to build upon, right? We can build so much upon that stability. Okay. And that brings us to Capricorn, which is the knees. So Capricorn is earth, and it rules the bones, the bone system, the teeth. everything with structure. You think about the most knobbiest, boniest part of your body, and it's the knees, right? It's the knees. And so Saturn rules Capricorn, the planet. Saturn is structure, Capricorn is structure. If you need to work on structure in your life, you can look at Capricorn and Saturn in your chart. Or if you want to see where you maybe have some challenges, restraint, you're going to look for Capricorn or Saturn, because they say structure. Nothing else will do for Saturn or Capricorn, right? It just wants to have stability. It wants to build something that will last a long time, just like our bone system. When we pass, when we transition into soul, what's going to stay if we, if we don't go through the fire, right, is the bones will stay around for so long. I mean, they're freaking old school. They last for days. It's really something, like we can still see the mummies, and we can still see going into caves and finding skeletal systems. And it's like, wow, how long this lasts. And so Capricorn relates to things that last forever, just last forever. Now, there's a big thing going on this year between the energies of Pluto, which is related to Scorpio. Remember, we talked about Scorpio, the intensity of Scorpio, transformation, right? And then Capricorn is what Saturn rules, which is structure. We have Pluto, the planet that rules Scorpio. Let me rephrase this. So the planet that rules Scorpio, Pluto, is in the sign of Capricorn this year. Whoa. Well, what is that? Pluto is not stable at all. Like, the energy of Pluto is big, and it's all about change, and it's all about like raw energy being transmuted into a higher form. And then Capricorn is structure. Do you kind of see what's happening this year? This is going to be all year that we have Pluto, the planet of transformation and change, the alchemizing planet, in the constellation of Capricorn, which is like the knees and the bone structure, right? And the structure. Do you see what's going on this year? We are literally being asked to transform the very structure of our world. It's probably pretty needed, right? But is that necessarily a very stabilizing or comforting feeling, having such a deep force of change and transformation? Sort of, Scorpio is like the deep underground. Scorpio is the underground. It's the secret societies. It's everything that's hidden. And it's in Capricorn, which is structure. So what that can mean, my friends, is that a lot of truth that has been buried very deeply by the structures of our society, like the businesses, the corporations, the elite leaders, is going to be brought to the surface to be seen. Yeah. Talk about a little friggin' intense. Like, what the? Yeah. And so as an astrologer, I was like, I need to share this with people so that you know what that energetic is that you're already feeling, right? I'm not necessarily giving you any new information. Like, you may have probably have the psychic radar and you're like, yeah, something's up this year. Check this out. Pluto was in Capricorn, the same degrees it is now, the year that we signed the Constitution of Independence in the United States of America. Yeah, that's called a Pluto return. Yeah. So interesting that it's a dragon year, which is change. It's also the year of a presidential election. The last year we had a dragon year was 2012. Yeah, you remember that. It's a pretty big year. So that's the level of year we're in. So if you've been like, gosh, like, I don't really even know what to make of this year, like, there's so much here to even process and discern. Here's the trick. Here's the number one trick. What is the most sacred, powerful passion, dream, drive in your life? That is your focus this year. Because that external world we're in is not going to hold the stability and answers and safety and security we've always got from it. It's going to be changing. It's going to be changing more than normal, which is all it always is changing, but there's going to be quite a bit of shifting. And so it's a dragon year. We are literally on a dragon flying through time and space like a wave. Get on your dragon. How do you control a dragon? How do you guide a dragon? You have to be completely committed to your purpose and your destination. That's why I'm here tonight on my birthday, because I've realized that this year demands. It's not like playing the waiting pool game this year, my friends. This is the year where you grab what your desire is and you choose it. Because there's so much power here to Pluto in structure. Transform your structure. Transform the structure of your life. Transform the structure of the world. That's what's happening here, okay? Everyone getting that. Everyone kind of getting that energetic. And why you may have felt like this year is different. There's something happening this year. This is a collective communal transformation underway. Okay, good news. We have each other and the right guides and people and events and places and locations and everything we need are going to just magically, by our focus and our commitment to our path, arrive to serve us. And so the opportunity to go really far this year is huge, right? So the extent to which there's change and it's uncertain and there's just, whoa, is also the extent, the opportunity, and the power of transformation. At the deepest levels of our being and the deepest areas of our lives and the deepest areas of leadership on the planet, the structures of the planet, the governance of the planet. This is a profound year. And we have this profound opportunity, right? So, okay, that brings us down to Aquarius. We're going to get through these. So Aquarius is, you can just brush your spinal column and just say hi to it, the spinal column. Aquarius is the electrical system of the body. Did you know we have a body electric? Yeah, we have a body electric, and Aquarius rules the body electric. Yeah, pretty awesome. Pretty awesome. Then we have Pisces. So I just have to say this about Aquarius. Aquarius is the new age. Aquarius is the vision for humanity I've been talking about, right? Aquarius is this vision to serve the world and to serve humanity and to literally transform the systems that we're in. This year, Saturn, the planet that rules Capricorn, which is structure, is in Aquarius. So the structure of this year for us is about bringing forward the new age of humanity. Yeah, you feel it. You know it's happening. You know it. You can, like, something is shifting. We are bringing forth the vision for the new earth. We are building the structures. We are building the containers. We are building the spaces and locations in the physical world for retreats, for schools, for gatherings, for people to come in large groups to bring forth the knowledge and information of a higher vision of humanity. That's what's happening. Okay, so if you want to invest in something, I would invest in retreat centers. I would invest in community building. I would invest in the infrastructure of new societies being built, like literally built on the ground, because there is going to be a need for people choosing a new way to live. We're done. We're done with the past. We are like all done with that old system. And we're calling in a new vision. We're calling in a new dream. It's just what's happening. And so the structure of the new vision is being called in, right? So if you want to put your money somewhere, put it in investment in land, build something, create a community, create a container. Water and land in the next several years, water and land. There is going to be increased solar flare activity over the next many years. So, you know, that's great. We're just ascending into greater solar beingness is what's happening. And so as that increases, having places and spaces where we can live based more on the land and less dependent on the grid are going to be very important. Ideally with maybe some caves, right? But water and land, fresh water, good land, grow your own food. That's Saturn in Aquarius, is building the infrastructure. Yeah, building new cities of wholeness. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Building those new cities of wholeness. That is being birthed with Pluto in Capricorn. It's sort of the big transformation of the structures that have been. Do you see? So this year is kind of the unearthing. It's the revealing of the corruption that's been hidden within the structures of our government and our society, which is spurring the creation, Saturn and Aquarius, to the new structures to serve humanity. Wow, I don't even know where all of this information has come through for y'all. I guess it's what Stars bring through. So thank you for holy cow. Yeah, so I channel. I when I get on calls, I really often don't know what's going to happen. I do my best, and then just it just comes through. So thank you for allowing Source to speak through me in this way to assist everyone, because I guess that's what's being called in. And now we finally arrive at the feet. Pisces.
Pisces.
Yeah, water. And that's really important, John. You mentioned Pisces in the beginning here, because Pisces is
I love water.
Exactly. Yeah, we're made of water, right? And the moon affects water. And so water is going to be this huge conversation this year. Water everywhere. Why? The destiny point, which is our future, it's our collective lessons. Everyone is working on learning, is in Pisces for the entire year. Pisces likes to flow, man. Pisces likes to flow. And it has a counterpart. So wherever the destiny point is, it also has a counterpart, which is its past self. So there's future self we're growing into, and the past one we're moving away from. And the past one is Virgo. Virgo, of course, the tummy is the earth. It's like practical, it's stability, it's routine, it's work. It's like following the day-to-day thing. It's structure, right? The structure of our routine. Well, guess what? We're moving away from that. This is the year to relinquish deep-held structure of routine in our lives, and to let go of all of the holding on, to let go of perfectionism, to let go of working too hard and giving too much, and let go of all this physical stuff and move into the Piscean flow. Right? So spiritual teachers, spiritual guides, artists, musicians, intuitives, channelers, psychic people who lead retreat centers, they're all this is their year. This is their year to step into their teaching and to share their gifts, because humanity is being asked to learn these things. Humanity is being asked to allow and to receive and to feel and to flow and to get into the divine feminine space of receptivity, which is not just female bodied. Feminine is in both male and female, because we're both female and masculine, a composition in each of us, the yin yang, right? Each containing the seed of the other, right? And so we're being kind of asked to slow down this year, right? And to kind of get into this more. So it's like all this intense stuff that I talked about. And then there's this destiny point in water, which is flow. So it's like allowing, instead of like really being uptight and perfectionistic and like paying attention to all the details of what's happening in the world and all the challenges, it's like step back, let it go, get into the pool, get in and get on your back and let it all happen, right? Let it flow through you, because that's the only way to be born, isn't it? Right? There's several ways to be born. One is to clench and like contract everything. And that's not very fun, right? It's kind of painful. Or you could choose to let go and be like seaweed and be like water and let yourself flow through the birthing, which is what this time is on our planet, is a birthing of a new vision. It came through with the solar eclipse. You might have felt it. There was the birthing of a vision for a new humanity. It was a new realm of possibility that was created. And so now we're slowly building it. At the full moon, we're at the first flowering or the first fruit of what that solar eclipse brought through. That's where we are now. Yeah. Okay. So we have made it all the way around the constellational wheel. How's your body's feeling? Do you feel like you just had a little bit of like a spiritual treatment here?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
I felt a few things. I felt like I was going to cry a little bit back there, and then I felt some pressure in my head. But I did feel like when you were talking about the pirates and stuff, I was feeling like I was going to cry.
the pirates, did I talk about pirates?
Or I don't know, some with caves and pirates. I don't know, but yeah, I did feel that. I did feel my eyes got almost a little teary. I don't know, sure why, but I felt like I was going to cry. It was very interesting.
Well, we know, yeah, when we get into a soul space with each other, we never know what the information can bring to the surface, right? We're multidimensional beings. We've all lived many lifetimes. And so who knows what layers are being accessed and touched on and felt here. So that's really beautiful. So what we're going to do now, right? So what I wanted to convey to you is that in this mission to create wealth and abundance, we have to identify first we have to be able to bring our spiritual gifts through, right? First, we have to be able to go out and share them. Like, do you feel 100% able to go out there and share your spiritual gifts? Do you know what your spiritual gifts are? Right? It's like, oh, what's my purpose? What am I here for? Right? Okay. And so that's where the astrological chart comes in, is being able to identify those areas of ourself that are the spiritual gift. Oh, look, I have that thing there. Oh, that's the way I do it. Right? So we can look at the sun, right, which is the soul. And we can see, well, what element is it in? Is it in earth? Is it in water? Is it in fire? Are we like super fiery activators, or are we water and we flow? So we start to get an idea of what our spiritual gifts even are, right? What our psychic ability is. We look to Pisces. Are we a natural channel or medium? Are we naturally psychic? Right? I have Mercury, the planet of communication, in Pisces. And so for me, it just happens since I was little. Like, it just comes through. It's just like water, right? Infinite awareness comes through, and I'm just like, whoa. But I've learned to surrender to the process. Whereas you might have, like Mars and Pisces. You might be a leader who channels psychically, who brings through psychic information as like a leader. Mars is a leader, right? So knowing these specific energetics around psychic ability and spiritual gifts, what we have in our charts that show that, and then clearing the blocks to having it Chiron, the wounded healer. Where do we have our biggest trauma that may be holding back our gifts? And then knowing what sign it is. Oh, well, what part of the body maybe got injured in a past life? Right? What theme got hurt before that now we're like, how do we get past this? And so that is what I want to share with you all during these next couple of days, is to begin identifying, one, your spiritual gift, like beacon, like what you're really good at with your gifts, what your purpose is, what your biggest block to really fully being you is, the Chiron wound. And then there's a couple planets that I call the millionaire planet and the billionaire planet. So everyone has these somewhere in their chart. So based on the sign, which we just went through all the signs, right? What part of the body is it connected to? Oh, what if our billionaire planet is in Taurus, which relates to the throat? Oh, you might want to speak. You might really want to speak, because if you speak, you might make a lot of money. Yeah. Oh, it's in Leo. Oh, when you use your heart, you're really close to wealth. Oh, it's in Gemini. You should use your hands to create the most value and money. Okay. Or what about your millionaire planet? What is that doing? And so the millionaire planet, while we're on the topic, is Jupiter. And Jupiter is the biggest planet in the sky. And Jupiter went into a different sign today with the full moon. Jupiter has been in Aries and in fire. It's been like very gung-ho leadership energy around making money. Very masculine. It shifted completely tonight, my friends. You may be going, what the bleep has just happened? Okay, because it's the biggest planet in the sky. It has gone into Taurus. Taurus is the throat. Okay, so just a heads up, money through speaking is going to become more emphasized, whereas before the head was more emphasized, right? What we think. Did you notice how much of a market there was around our thinking, getting our thinking right? Over the last couple of years, thinking. Oh my God. Now it's moved to throat. Speaking. It's also,
Perfect.
yeah, right?
I
Land.
just started a sales job like a day ago, so
I'm not surprised. Yeah. Congratulations.
thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. You have such great rapport with people. I can tell, like you really bring a lot of love to the people you interact with. And that, sales means service. And love is the biggest form of service, I think, on the planet.
Thank you.
So bravo. And so here we go, Jupiter into Taurus, right? Taurus is the earth mother and all of her abundance. It is the five senses, what you can see, taste, touch, feel, smell. So we're talking perfume, we're talking jewelry, we're talking material things that are beautiful that people love to buy. People are going to want to buy more stuff now. We've shifted out of Aries, which is more about leadership and taking action and going to seminars and like building the leadership energy. And now it's going to go to, well, I kind of want to enjoy myself. Maybe I want to splurge on a really expensive resort with, 5-star accommodations and massage. And I want to indulge all of my senses in a beautiful environment in nature. So people are going to spend more money on luxury in the next 10 years because Jupiter is going to stay in Taurus for a long time. Okay. So Jupiter is banking, it's money, it's nice watches, it's nice clothes, it's nice shoes. It's like really that physical enjoyment of all the senses. Dressing up nicely, wearing nice clothes, just really like sensuous fabrics, things that you can touch, things that you enjoy to smell, flowers. So the flower industry, crystals, jewelry, things that you can taste, touch, feel, sense, hear, sound, music, the throat singing. These are going to be so highlighted in the next several years and really a great place to make a lot of money. Investment in wine, wineries, agriculture, building a house, housing, land, farming, everything that comes from the earth that we can eat, taste, touch, feel, drinking water, right? Water is kind of part of that equation too. So this is a big shift and it's going to be changing kind of slowly. It's like going out from this fiery, aggressive, masculine energy into a more Taurus is feminine. It's female. It's ruled by Venus, the goddess of love, whereas Aries was ruled by Mars, the god of war. So we're going to leave behind a more masculine energetic and step into more feminine energy. It's a good time to make money. It really is. It's like, the Shire in the Lord of the Rings, and you go to the Shire and they're just eating, just like they're at the party and they're all eating, bread and cheese. The tables are loaded with food and dancing and singing and celebration. That's kind of the energy of Taurus. Good food, good drink, good friends, coming together, celebration, parties. parties are going to be way, 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 way more happening than they have been in a long time. Thank God. Farm parties, farm to table, growing food, farming, natural farming, like all that stuff is going to boom in the next 10 years. Like you're going to be like, what happened? And be like, oh, Lotus said that was happening because Jupiter is in Taurus. Jupiter is the biggest planet in the sky. Okay. So here we are at the full moon. And so once we've discerned purpose and we've discerned what the block is to actually be able to share it, then we get into, well, how about making money from it? Okay. That's where knowing where our millionaire planet is and our billionaire planet is and our money house. There's also a money house. Okay. And so the astrological chart becomes a map to help you dial in the objects, areas, specifics, colors, places, people, situations that might best serve you in your path to achieving full soul expression and receiving income and value in return. Okay. And so that is what this 5-day challenge is about, is giving to all of you, which I could do one by one, but doing it in a group format, the knowledge of, first of all, how do we navigate a chart? What are we looking at? What is this thing? How can anyone start to navigate it so that you can learn what these things are and know what you're looking at in actually a couple days? Sounds pretty good, right? Yeah. So most people think astrology is challenging. Most people are like, I can't even do this. This is way too much. I have now taught 3 master classes. And what has occurred to me is that now I have students out there doing astrology readings, and it didn't take very long to get them doing it. And I realized there's actually a little trick to it. And I'm like, wow, how did I discover that? Like, that's cool. Because I really wanted them to learn. I really wanted them to get it. And so I have that desire that I've been doing astrology chart reading since I was about 10 years old. Like that's when I first learned what an astrology chart was. Yeah. Yeah. Because my mom's like, oh, this is astrology. And
That's
I was
amazing.
like, oh, that's cool. And I knew what it was somehow. I knew it was pretty cool. And I was like, oh, how do I do it? You want to know what the secret is? I want you to imagine a clock. Okay. And the clock, let's take off the lid of the clock. Now we look inside that clock. What are we going to see? We're going to see a lot of gears. Yeah.
Yep.
And they're working together, right? Click, tick, 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 click. And it's moving the little hands around the clock. Tick, tick, tick. Okay. Now let's imagine that in that clock, those gears are the components of an astrology chart. So what would be the components? Well, we'd need the signs, which we just went through, right? All the 13 signs, that's one of the gears. Then we're going to put in all of the planets. So there's about 10 planets, and that's a gear. And then we're going to put in the houses. So there's 12 houses. So you have 3 main gears. Click, 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 click. Putting in a combination. Okay, that gives you that time. Put in a combination that gives you that time. Put in a combination that gives you that time. And it's just a combination of these sort of figures that allow us to get the picture of what a person's aspects are. Right? And so deep breath in and out to everyone. Right? And so another way to look at it is a Rubik's Cube. Right? We've all played with a Rubik's Cube. Has all those different colors. So we click one side, that would be our signs, is one color. Another planets, that's the other color. Houses, the other color. And so each person has a combination of one color for each thing. So you get a pattern generated by those 3 things coming together. That's all it is. It's pattern recognition. And once you know what all the symbols are, you know what all the planets are, and you know what all the houses are, click, 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 click. You just start knowing what the combinations mean. Okay, so it's actually fairly simple once you know those 3 things. Okay, that's really all it takes. Now, the fourth layer becomes the relationships between all of the planets, right? And the relationships are based on geometry. It's a 360-degree circle of, the zodiacal wheel that the planets rotate around. Okay, and so depending on where they are in that circle is what creates the relationships between them. Okay, and so the relationships, if you've ever taken geometry, are conjunct, the same, they're right next to each other, opposite, completely different, opposite sides of the circle, square, I forget what the numbers are on that, but they're in a square relationship to each other in the circle, or trine, they're in a triangular form, right? They're that many degrees away to create a triangular type shape between them. Okay. So it's fairly simple, and each relationship or aspect has a relationship. It means something. Okay. So one great way to think about this is like you and your cousin Fred. You guys are like peas, two peas in a pod. That would be like a conjunction. Sally and Kate, well, they're like day and night. There would be an opposition. Right? And that would be maybe Jupiter and Mars, right? So they're just relationships. Each aspect is a relationship and means a specific thing. That's all. Once you know what that is, this is an easy connection or it's a challenging connection. We're going to get along great or it's going to be like sandpaper, right? So that becomes very powerful for discerning relationships, business partners, romantic partners, friendships, family members. It becomes this amazing tool for seeing how we fit together, right? Our Rubik's Cube, we fit that all together. We get that lineup of what we look like. And then we can then fit it together to someone else's Rubik's Cube. It's a little bit like Legos, honestly, or a puzzle piece. And that's one way that we can use astrology. So I would like to give you all a 5-minute break now, and then we'll jump into actually beginning to learn how to read a chart and bring through your chart so we can see how this full moon is activating everyone. Sound like a good plan?
Yeah.
Okay. So everyone take 5 minutes, get some water, get a snack, shake your body out. There's a lot of information that came through. Like I'm seeing everyone's bodies like, whoa, because when I channel information, like serious energy comes through. So things may have shifted in your body, your mind, you might need to shake it out. So before we go to break, let's just clear out the space a little bit. So what we're going to do, I want to invite you to rub your hands together. There we go. There's so much energy building up on this call. It's amazing. So just allow anything and everything. You're going to breathe in and out. Let yourself yawn. Anything and everything that got brought up or let down in the conversation. Yeah, let the yawns out. There's so much energy. That's good. Anything and everything that got brought up or let down or any stress in the body from this lifetime or any other, everything that brings up or lets down. By the power of God, by the power of the universe, it is commanded that all negative energy no longer belonging to you, that you no longer need, be released and cleared and let go out of all levels and layers of your body and being, out of the level of your core, out of the level of the genetic, out of the soul, out of all layers and levels of your body and being. Take a deep breath in and out. Good. And if you guys want to be on camera, you can. You just have to share your camera. You don't have to. I know I'm like always recording videos and I'm doing this process and I'm like, I don't even care anymore because it's so powerful what it can do. I'm like, look at what we can do. We're rubbing our hands together. Like, it's just that simple. Like, let's all do it. Let's see what happens if like all of us on the planet were to do this tonight. So just, yeah, put into your hands anything and everything that this full moon is bringing up. All that stuff, all the layers and layers of energetic debris and thickness and stickiness and emotion and just all that stuff in the stratosphere around this full moon, anything and everything that brings up or lets down by the power of God, by the power of spirit, by the power of source. It is commanded all of that old, dense, stuck energy in us, in the planet, related to the moon, whatever it's bringing up, we command it by the power of God. By the power of spirit to release up and out of our body, out of the core, out of the heart, out of the soul. And we command it to
Yes.
be pulled and resolved on the historical level in the highest and best way. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. By the power of God, it is commanded a complete unconditional healing through all directions of your body and being now and through all directions of time and space. By the power of God, by the power of Creator, it is commanded a complete unconditional love healing for you, for me, for all levels and layers of our body and being through all directions of time and space. May it be so, may it be so, and it is done, and it is done, it is done, and it is done, it is done. And show us. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. By the power of God, it is commanded a complete unconditional healing and clearing of all of your chakras. We ask the super conscious to help clear and chakras, heal our chakras. Front and back. Woo-wee. And just we ask for complete unconditional love clearing of the energy body. And now we're going to tune into the collective field. Wherever we're encountering the collective field, rub your hands together quick. Woo, feeling that collective field of what?
Get
God dang, look at that collective field. Hi, collective field. We love you by the power of God. By the power of spirit, we command that any and all negativity, any negative influence, any dark, heavy emotion, any satanics, demonics, any dark energies, demons, entities, lower thought forms, curses or spells being broadcast by any negative energies, we command it all to release and clear out of the core, genetic and soul level. We command it to be pulled and resolved on the historical level and replaced on all levels with and definition of complete, pure, unconditional love, compassion, forgiveness, peace, calm, happiness, love, and joy. We ask for complete, unconditional love healing through all levels and layers and directions of time and space, through all levels and layers of all bodies and all beings, through all directions of time and space. May it be so. May it be so. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It is done. It is done. It is done. It is done. Show us. Deep breath in. And out by the power of God, we command this complete, pure, unconditional love healing through all your chakras, through all levels and layers of your body and being, through all directions of time. So, creator of all that is, please shower you all off with pure, unconditional love, rainbow light.
Yes.
Asking that pure, unconditional love and abundance to shower your energy field, to shower your heart space. Deep breath in, deep breath out. Creator of all that is commanded complete unconditional love healing for all of you through all directions of time and space from the heart chakra to the creator of all that is commanded complete unconditional love healing. Whoo! Feeling that collective just sloughed off you. It's like a cord got disconnected from you, that negative energy just pulled and cleared completely. Right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. No, man, you gotta clear that out. Bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. Yeah. It's really fun as you start learning more about energy fields and groups. You can actually start clearing the collective field of the group as opposed to singularly. And it's very interesting. So creator of all that is kind of complete unconditional healing for all of you. We ask all of your soul fragments to be lifted up in the light, cleansed, purified, returned back to each and every one of you. All of my soul fragments lifted up, light, cleansed, purified, returned back to me. We ask our energy bodies to be gently and lovingly sort of like unzipped in this sort of precious way, and all the energies of you returning back to you and me returning back to me. There you go. We're still here. We're still connected. We're still one, but now you're in your own body. I'm in my having sort of energetic spaciousness for our own processing to happen over the next 5 minutes. Good. And we just ask for your grounding cord to be repaired. You're going to take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. By the power of God, it is commanded complete unconditional love healing for all of your grounding cord, anything and everything, preventing them from healing completely, being regrounded back to Mother Earth, to Gaia, to be grounding you back into Mother Earth with ease and joy and glory, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, clothes. Any negative interferences blocking us from Mama Gaia, from connecting to Mother Earth from this lifetime or any other, everything that brings up or lets down, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. Good. Take a deep breath in. Woo! Ooh, ooh. I don't mean to make these sounds, they just come through. It's really fun. Okay, la 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 la. Hee, 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 hee. So just clearing it out. Anything and everything preventing you from just being grounded into your body, connected to Mother Earth. Any resistance, any interference, any trauma or drama preventing you from being connected to Mother Earth, connected to your heart, synchronized your heart and your brain, anything and everything that brings up or lets down. Will you please now recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all, please? Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all shorts, boys, povids, and beyonds. Good deep breath in. That's it. Yep. Good. And we just clear the space, God, source, spirit, and command that all of you receive the spiritual gifts from God that are here that for your highest and best, to learn how to now operate at this new vibrational frequency you're now in. We ask God to please shower you all with the divine spiritual gifts of your pure, unconditional true self, that you know it to use, how to use them, you know how to use them, what they are. And just open your heart to receive these divine spiritual gifts that are for you, that are exactly what you need right now, for exactly what thing you're working on. There it is. Yeah. Let them come in. There's so many beautiful things coming in to assist you to integrate this new energy space that you're in. Yeah, I know. It's very profound. Let those divine gifts come through. I love you. You are divine, precious children of the source, and God is here to serve and support you. And you only need to ask for whatever it is that you need. And it is given. And that is the gift of being. And it is beautiful. And just take a deep breath in. And deep breath out. And just receiving. And if anyone watches this video as a replay, I'm just going to tell you now to receive absolutely everything that I'm saying here. It will be applied to all. It always is. I've had people write me about watching the replay and their stories are off the wall. I can't even believe it. Because there is no we are just literally operating in the oneness field. And so space and time they're interesting. They're fun to work within, but they're not necessarily exactly fully real in the sense of solid. There's some fun play there. So just take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. And now we're just sort of showering off your energy fields and letting anything and everything that needs to release up and out. Yeah. That's it. And now we just shower pure white unconditional love and light across your auric field. And now the golden light, we ask you to be filled up. So the golden light is like soft serve and you're like an ice cream cone and it's warm and kind. And so you just allow that golden light to just fill you up. Because there might be places in you that are tired and tuckered out now from all of that letting go and divine, pure, unconditional love to just shower through your body and to just fill you up. Just fill you up wherever you need that rejuvenation and regeneration. Just fill you up more and more. And take a nice deep breath in and out. And we may be tired out. We may have been giving and giving and giving. So just really allow. It's like, really, I deserve that much. Yeah. Really allow all that, all of it more. There's places and spaces that still need loving. Let that come in. There it goes. And now feel how that kind of, there's like a sense of completion more. There's a sense of kind of, oh, okay. Yeah. Like coming to the ground again, like coming back into the body. Sometimes we don't give enough time for that. It's like, okay, we're done. But really let that sinking in of like, oh yeah, like coming back into your body, coming back into the here and the now and the beingness of who you, and just feel that connection. Yeah. You just feel your nervous system slowing down now. What happened? Just letting it kind of come back. And we just ask for complete unconditional love and restructuring and reintegration. So now you're just reintegrating and restructuring your body and being now back into this new way, this new vibration, this new frequency. And we command that this new vibration and frequency that you are now in be applied literally to absolutely every single layer and level of your 3D universe, from your bank account to your friendships, to your house, to your home, to your clothing, to your body, to your organs, to your cells, your atoms, your mitochondrial, your DNA. That this frequency applied to absolutely every single layer of your physical body and being. 3D universe, so that your new vibration now can flow out to meet your world. And so your world now shifts with you, as opposed to there being a lag time between this energy clearing process and your true beingness, your true new vibrational set point. And yeah, that's a lot too. And just let it come through. Anything that brings up or lets down, right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all 9 shorts, boys, POVIDs, and beyond. I'm just clearing out the field. If you're wondering what I'm doing, clearing out the field so that you can feel more spacious and feel more clear. And any energies around you, we just ask for complete unconditional love, healing of your home, of your space, of your car, your internet, anything and everything connected to. We just ask for complete unconditional love, healing and clearing for the spaces and places all around you, within you, around you, beyond you, through you, in all levels and layers. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. It is done.
Thank you.
It is done. And show us and just allow and notice that new feeling and beingness. And we're just going to ask your super conscious to do for anything remaining, any levels or layers still remaining that need to be addressed. We ask for a complete change of history on all levels, through all levels 1, 2, and 3, in the highest and best way, in the highest and best order. We come back into balance and equilibrium and peace. And peace. That's right. So that we can receive knowledge with ease. Our minds being open and spacious, our energy bodies being clear and grounded and connected. And once we're there, then it's much easier to learn and to receive. Good, and taking a deep breath in and out. Okay. And then slowly feeling so much more rejuvenated, refreshed, alert, simply fantastic. You're going to slowly come back into your body and you're going to feel way more alert and focused and clear on the count of 1, 2, and 3. And take a nice deep breath in and out. Okay. And if you want to, you can move or maybe stretch a little bit, just coming back into the body. Maybe you want to get out or stretch or just kind of be in your body for a moment and just feel how it feels to be in this precious temple, this precious space and place together. Good. Fantastic. John, how you doing, buddy?
I'm blowing my nose. I'm good. I've been doing some of this stuff for a little bit, or somatic stuff. So
Nice. He's clearing out.
the yawning's good when you expel with the yawning out. That's really good. It's getting out negative, unneeded stagnant energy. So it's really good.
Right. I know. I love the yawns. They're a good friend to help us know we're on track.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so go ahead and take 5 minutes because we just did some massive energy work, and I want to give you a chance to process that, to reground yourself, maybe eat something sweet, something salty, drink some water. Take 5 minutes and just like, feel where you are now, right? Like really notice. Yeah, you're welcome, Alicia La. I'm so glad you're here. I love you. She's in Bali, and we got Lily Ma in Thailand, and Yeah, and Stefan and Germany yeah, I'm so grateful that you're all here. This is I was telling Michael, my partner, I was like, I thought about what would I most love to do for my birthday, and I was like, it would be to lead a class because this is what I love to do. So thank you for
You got your wish.
I did to facilitate us all, really, because I could be sitting in the forest and feeling everything and just being like, but to get to actually bring what's happening out into the ocean. Thank you, Alicia Law. I love you too. And actually bring it out into the conversation, right? Because we're all sitting here feeling it, aren't we? Like we're all connected and we're all feeling what's happening and we're not like, we're aware. So let's talk about it and let's move through it together, because now we've just shifted the frequency in 7, 8, 9 people here, which is a huge amount of people to shift on that level, which means we just made a huge ripple across the planet. They say, yeah, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, Alicia La, for my birthday. Yay. She's in Bali, so she's trying to save some data. It's like, it's very expensive with the videos and all that. So we love you, Alicia La. So take 5 minutes and then we're going to get into more information about the moon, this full moon, what's happening, and then into our charts too as well. And then where is all this stuff affecting us? So take 5 minutes. We'll meet back up here and just get some water, get some food, get some snacks, and just notice how you're feeling. Notice what's coming up, and we can do a little bit of sharing when we get back. Okay. See you in 5 minutes, my friends. Here we go. And I'm gonna put on that song while we're on break. I think that'll be fun. All right, I'll do that.
On learning from my when I no longer fear the unknown, 'cause I know what I am here for. I keep on trotting on my own path, keep on learning from my present and past, yeah. When I no longer need validation, 'cause my story is long and I'm patient. I know that I have lessons to learn, keep my eyes open each step I earn, yeah. No need for me to feel alone, 'cause I got a place that I call home. Every single road travel, every single new place, I come back home, they accept me with grace, yeah. When I know that I was meant to be here, and I know that I was born into fear, but I will stand tall in the lion's den, 'cause I know in my heart I am one of them. That there are lies in the facets of everything that we see, that are telling us to be scared when all we ever are is free. I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me no more, 'cause I am holy and sacred and righteous and true, and I deserve to be here, and so do you. Said I deserve to be here. But I'm in a constant transition, constantly changing vision. Story never certain, there is always a revision to be made. When I think about the demons I have slayed, I am not afraid of confrontation in vain. To the people that seek evil, not as peaceful as I look. With a warrior at heart, so precaution must be took. What I'm trying to give in to the lessons that will soften my ways and means of changing, 'cause I talk to spirit often. Tell me to stay sharp, tell me to stay present, tell me to ignore the fools and focus on the sin. Well, I said I will starve my ego and I will remain strong. I will make mistakes and I will often be wrong. When I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm only here to learn, and all the evil on the path gets burned. I said I'm perfectly imperfect and I'm only here to learn, and all the evil on the path gets burned. But there are lies in the facets of everything that we see, that are telling us to be scared when all we ever are is free. I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me no more. Cause I am holy and sacred and righteous and true, and I deserve to be here, and so do you. Pressure always come from the outside. Try not to let it in where I reside. Well, this is my heart, my home, my choice, my love, my life, my path, my voice. Yeah. When I feel my heart grow with each step, stand firm in where the path goes next. Well, I know that where it goes is where I need to be. The more lessons rain down, more blessings I see. Hey. So there lies in the facets of everything that we see, that are telling us to be scared when all we ever are is free. I'm letting go of the things that don't serve me no more. Cause I am holy and sacred and righteous and true, and I deserve to be here, and so do you.
All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone back to round 2. How is everyone doing out there?
Doing great, Dawn. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, my first name is Lotus and my second name is,
Okay.
and the reason I'm going to tell you this is because it's my birthday. And so I have a fun story about the night before I was born. So my mom had decided to name me Lotus, and she turns to my dad and says, "So you want to name her Lotus, huh?" And I think my dad's, asleep. Yeah. And she went into labor. And so it's like my calling, they're like, Lotus, and here I come. I heard my name. So it's quite a name to be given. One of the reasons she named me that is she met a midwife who taught her about something called a lotus birth. And a lotus birth is where you do not cut the umbilical cord. What? So you have the umbilical cord that's connected to the baby in the belly. Okay, and when babies are born, typically the doctor will cut the cord between the placenta, which is the baby's food supply, and the baby at the birth within like a couple minutes. And I was blessed to not have to have that happen. Instead, the cord was wrapped in a wet towel and allowed to just fall off from my navel all on its own, all by itself after 3 days. And my mom said, and I grew up hearing her stories, right? Because this is very special to her. She said that on the 3rd day, it was a Sunday, she heard the bells of St. Michael's Church down the street were ringing. And she looked down and the cord had come off. And I was just like, oh, that's really cool. And so I've thought a lot about what does it mean to have a lotus birth? Okay. And so I want you to think about a fruit on a tree and us being like on a tree, right? Fruit on a tree. And that when we cut the cord, it's like picking the fruit before it's been allowed to just ripen in its own special way. Okay. And so if you had your cord cut coming in, you might actually want to do healing around your navel center, because some people say that that's literally like the first wound, right? As a baby that we deal with. And so if we don't have that wound, what does it do? And I've met other people who are lotus births. There's a different feeling with people who haven't had that happen. You probably felt him like, what's up with Lotus? Like, there's just something about her, right? And so one of the things that I was allowed to just come in the way that God and nature intended without that sudden cut, right? I felt really passionate about bringing this knowledge to people so that you know what you can put like a hands on your navel center and like send love and like visualize and work with the practitioner around healing it, and even go back in time before that ever happened to you and tune into the energy of what it felt like before that happened. Like, oh, well, that feels really nice, right? Like that feels really good. And so calling that self forward of you pre
Mhm.
the umbilical cord is really interesting. So again, totally off topic, but totally on topic, as they say, for our perfection and whatever we need to learn tonight. Anyone, I would love to hear from you. I've been talking now for quite some time. I'd love to hear from all of you about how you're doing. How was that clearing for you all? How are you feeling and where are you at now? What'd you notice?
I'm more present and grounded. Like it really helped to got my umabashi tea.
Yeah.
And I just want to say it's also the day I gave birth to my daughter.
That's
And,
right.
yeah, and Lotus has helped me reconnect in a beautiful way with my daughter. And this thing about the body parts, I'll just say briefly, Lotus, because I know this could, like, I don't want to go on a big tangent here, but I've been having some just stabbing pains in my throat the last couple days. So, like, I'm here, of course, because it's like, being able to speak more is one of my things.
Wow.
But working with Lotus, these stabbing pains in the back came up, and Lotus tuned in with her ancestral healing senses. And this was related to being murdered by being stabbed in the back in a past life by someone who's married into my family this time around and has been an interfering kind of agent. So this thing about you're talking about the spine and the throat, I'm still kind of held in somewhat, even though I'm out doing Zumba and yoga several times a week and moving it a lot, but there's still a sense, there's still something that wants to get illuminated and healed.
Mm-hmm. I'm really glad you brought that up. Thank you. And I'm sorry you're dealing with that, but I also want to recognize that a lot of us are dealing with stuff like that, which is weird physical symptoms that aren't necessarily anything wrong, but that you feel and they hurt. And what are those? And have you ever heard of the etheric body? So, right, we have our physical body, we have a spiritual body, we have an emotional body. And what is a body? It's just sort of like, a substance, a field of substance. It's a body, right? Energy body, though, means it's lighter, it's less dense. And so an etheric body is sort of like the field around, or it's similar to the auric field, which is the energy around our being, where we often store past life memories. Okay. And so if we had a trauma, we got killed, we died in some horrific fashion, it tends to leave a record in the memory body of the etheric body. And so that is where I work with the energy work that I do specifically, because I came into this world with a lot of past life trauma, like where I physically, like, it hurt. And I was like, what? There's nothing wrong with me, right? I couldn't go to a doctor and have it fixed. I tried to figure out what it was. They didn't know. You're fine. Like, no, I'm not. I'm not fine. And so that's where I get a lot of joy, is working with you all to clear the sort of phantom physical symptoms that tend to relate, either what I've noticed is through our ancestry or through our past lives. Okay. And so learning how to muscle test, and that's what I do, is I muscle test and tune in to, how many lifetimes back did this issue happen, right? Or how many generations back in your ancestry did this happen? And then I just use the technique we've used, and maybe I go a little deeper, right? Depending on a one-on-one session is very different than a group, because we can kind of dive into what it is a little more specifically. Specificity. It's a fun word, right? It's a funny word. So like for Jean, like right now, like we could test, okay, is this issue, you're having the pain in your neck right now? You noticing it now, or is it gone for now?
Not right now, no.
Oh, good. Okay, awesome. So we probably did enough to at least clear it. Now releasing it totally is a different thing, isn't it? So it's not up, so she's not feeling it, but that could change if she gets into a triggered state, right? If something happens that sets off the remembrance of what happened, okay? And so, maybe we should do a session soon and help you with that. But I just want to, if anyone here is dealing with that physical stuff that they need facilitation with, I love working with you. Also, just reach out, okay? And it also relates to the astrology, because sometimes as a healer, we're looking for ways to help people to heal. And so the astrology chart can tell us about where in the body specific issues are. And that's going to come in really handy as we look at all of your Chiron placements this week and find out what sign is it in, what part of your body is it affecting. Okay. And then, maybe we'll get insights, because that's what happens. The astrology chart is a little bit like an oracle for you, an oracle of you, kind of like an Akashic record of you. So it's a very sacred space. When we open a chart, we are literally opening your soul map, right? That's pretty special. And I feel it happen every time I go into a reading with you all. And I'm like, wow, this is more than just an astrology reading. This is like a soul reading. Okay. So a reading on the level of the soul. Okay. And so what we're going to do in the next couple of days, and what my intuition is telling me tonight is that we need to actually maybe end pretty soon here, because the energy just, we kind of use the amount of energy I think we all have to do the energy clearing. And I knew Tuesday was going to be a wash. I was like, you know what? I think we're probably going to just not do too much mental stuff, and we're just going to clear the density, because there's just so much, and it literally took like an hour and a half. So I want to maybe conserve your mental powers for tomorrow and Thursday and Friday. And just, let you all process what we did here and not overtax your nervous systems with facts and figures and ideas. But I will share screen here, and we will kind of get a sense of things to come. Okay, so here we are. We're working on unleashing your inner voice to align to infinite wealth, right? So releasing the blocks to you speaking your truth and sharing your gifts with the world. What did I do here? And I wanted to share with you all that today is kind of a special day in India. And so it's actually something called Chitra Purnima. It's a significant day in India. And what is it? It's called let's see here. Let me move this around. Chaitra is a Sanskrit word meaning a temple or a memorial. It's the first month per the Hindu calendar. So it is stated that the Lord Brahma created the universe on this day. That's like that amazing, or what? And today is considered to be a really auspicious day to begin a new thing. It was a really good start for this 5-day challenge. A lot more people came, right? The energy was right for it. They say that Lord Brahma created the concept of time, the movement of the sun and the moon, all came into existence on this day, which is pretty cool. Chaitra Purnima, a significant Hindu day on April 23rd. Devotees worship, seek forgiveness, bathe in the Ganji, perform rituals like Surya Arghya, and moon worship, emphasizing charity and new beginnings. In Hinduism, the full moon day of Chaitra month holds great significance, as is regarded as the first full moon of the Hindu New Year. So happy Hindu New Year. try to be involved in all the different energies of the year. And so, okay, I do feel like I need to show you an astrology. Well, do you guys want to see an astrological chart for tonight? Or do you want to call it? Where's your energy level at?
I'm for it.
I can see John's
Yeah.
like, I'm all in, let's do this. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create us a chart for today so we can dive into it. Okay. And so here we are, we're on this full moon. It's called the full moon pink moon. Why is that? Well, it's related to all the pink flowers that started growing around this time in the Native American calendar. And so pink is a really powerful color, right? And so today is just so much about new beginnings, as well as letting go of old things, right? So in India, it's the beginning of their year. How interesting is that they start the year when spring is at its peak, as opposed to starting the year when it's still snowy in a lot of places of the world. So I think that's very interesting. Okay, so we are going to create a new chart. And are you guys, what picture are you seeing on your end right now?
Pink flowers.
Flowers.
Yeah.
So we'll get you a new chart. There we go. Now, I'm a little hesitant to share this chart with you all because I haven't taught you yet what the structure of the chart is. And so I'm a little bit nervous to just throw you. Should I just throw you into the deep end of the pool here? And then tomorrow we can resuscitate you and see what you in order to be able to really get it. Okay, so that's an option. We can slow down and I can teach you step by step, or I can show you the full thing. You may feel a little overwhelmed and you might not know exactly what you're looking at, but it sounds like you want to just go into the deep end first. Okay, that's fine. I don't mind. Okay, so what are we even looking at when we're looking at a chart? Yeah, what are we even looking at? So I'll just be very brief here. Well, first of all, you all familiar with Paramahansa Yogananda? Yeah.
Yes.
So this is his teacher, Sri Yukteswar Giri, and he was a very full-on teacher. I mean, he was real teacher. And I was really getting into teaching this astrology stuff, and I was looking for, quotes for my students to inspire them to learn more. And I came across this quote by him, and he was explaining what basically the time of our birth means. So a child is born on that day and at that hour when the celestial rays are in mathematical harmony with his or her individual karma. Yeah. So our chart is literally an energetic map of what we come in with, where we've been, who we've been, the things we've done, the things we've seen. It is literally an imprint from the stars of who we are. Wow. Talk about like kind of a spiritual thing when we get to look at our chart, right? Like it's a pretty powerful thing. So, here we are, we're the soul, and then we're spiraling into life. And the chart is a circle. Yeah, exactly. The oneness, the Om, the divine ocean in the center. Okay. So when we look at a chart, it's a circle, but what does it show us? What are we actually looking at? So imagine this is the top half of your astrological chart, and above you is the stars, and you're standing here on the ground, and that would be the middle point of the chart, because the chart is divided into 12. So imagine that the middle line going through the center, if you were to divide it into 4, the middle line, like the cross in the chart, this is you. You're standing here, right? Okay, you're standing here. This is the horizon line down through the center. Okay, here you are On the far left is the eastern horizon. It represents the moment you were born, what was on the eastern horizon. Or if we're looking at a chart for a time, it represents what constellation, so what sign, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, right? We went through all those signs. What sign, and that's a constellation, was on the eastern horizon at the moment of your birth. Okay. Over here, so that's sunrise. And then over here is sunset on the right. Okay. Above you is everything that was up in the sky at the moment you were born. Hi. It represents your outer self. It is the yang half of the chart. It's how you give out to the world. Okay. At the very top of the chart is the midheaven, and that represents high noon. So that's our like shining light. That's how we shine the brightest. You know, people are always saying, well, what's my purpose? Look at the midheaven. Just look at the midheaven. That gives you so much clarity about what you're here to give. What sign is there? Do you have Aries there? Are you a leader? Do you have Taurus there? Are you a speaker and a creator of wealth? You make gardens. Do you have Gemini there? Are you a natural teacher? Do you have Cancer there? Are you a mom? Do you love to care for people? You have Libra there. Are you a natural therapist or conflict resolution person, or a natural person who choreographs weddings and curates weddings or works in the legal profession? Whatever sign we have on the top of the chart is a little bit like a second sun sign, right? So we all know our sun sign, but whatever sign we have on the midheaven is a little bit like having the knowledge of our purpose. Yeah, pretty powerful point to have, right? Now, directly below the midheaven. Oh, yeah. So April 23rd and 24th in Bali is a really big thing. That's cool. That's good to know. It's my birthday. Yay. That's so cool. Thanks, Alicia Law. So midheaven has a twin. So the eastern horizon is called the ascendant. The western horizon is called the descendant. Midheaven also has a polarity. Midheaven has called the IC, or the Imam Coeli. And I think I have a better picture of all of these 4 points. I can't show you the chart without giving you some reference, right? So there's that. I'm just going to move some things around here to get you what I need to get you. Yeah. It's like how to put pictures or imagery to kind of these interesting concepts is a fun challenge to have. It's really actually quite rewarding when I can get the info to you properly. Okay. So let's try this again. Here we are, the moment of our birth. We're up, we're looking up at the sky, and there's this zodiacal wheel of the constellations, and they're moving, right? And so they describe the chart, right? So here's this circle here, but it's in this circle here, which is our astrological chart. That's basically what we're looking at. The eastern horizon is the ascendant. The western horizon is the descendant. This relates to self. This relates to other. Okay. The MC is our purpose. The IC are the roots of the chart. In other words, right? The ascendant, the descendant, the IC, and the MC. I call these the 4 points of power. They give you direction. They give you a compass for navigating the astrological chart. Most people will never teach you in this fashion. I don't know why, but what I've found is that if we have a map, if we have a structure for what we're about to look at, it makes it a lot easier to grasp all of this stuff. We have this nice structure in place. Okay. So ascendant relates to self, descendant relates to relationships, MC relates to how we shine, IC, which is down here, relates to our root system. So high noon, midnight. Okay. Midheaven, ascendant, IC, DC. So these 4 points create the structure of an astrological chart. Another way to look at it is that the roots of the chart are found in the bottom. We blossom in the top. Because guess what? When we were born, only about 6 or 7 constellations were visible in the sky. Everything else we couldn't see. They weren't up in the sky. Like you can only see so many constellations at one time. So every constellation that was literally like below the horizon is sort of hidden. And it represents our inner self. Okay. So if you want to look at a chart and know, are we more outer directed today or are we more inner directed today? You have a ton of planets, right? You see all these planets up top, external, outer directed, yang energy. A lot of planets underneath, very inner, very internal focus. The roots, where we come from, our family, create the fruits. So if you're having issues with your purpose, the best place to look is down below in the root system. That's where the knowledge is. That's where the thing is that's holding us back. Our family, typically, our DNA, our ancestry, our past. That's where that all lives. And so if we can figure out the sign and the part of the body that we have in the root system, we can see, oh, where do I have issues in there? How can I clean that up? How can I love that a little more? We're bringing awareness to the places and spaces that need it through the chart. Okay. And you can see each house, it's a circle. Each house, we have 12, relates to an area of life. I'm just giving you the 4 main points that create the structure. So you can kind of get a sense of the framework. Otherwise, you know, how do you structure a circle? It's like it keeps, so if I don't give you the structure, you're going to just loop in circles. So by giving you the structure, it helps stabilize the knowledge. So it has somewhere to land. Okay. Okay. So now that we've learned all these signs, hopefully it will help you when we look at a chart, you'll know more what we're looking at. So we'll just remember, oh, Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer. So head, throat, arms, breasts, heart, stomach, kidneys, reproductive organs, reproductive tools, reproductive energy system, thighs, knees, electrical system and spine, and the feet. Okay, so now we're going to come to the chart. Now that we've sort of given you a very, very, very brief introduction to what you're looking at. This is the fastest I've ever explained this to anyone in my life, by the way. So if you feel the need to go back and listen over again, you can slow my speaking down a little bit too, because that was really fast. If you have questions, you can raise your hand at any point. Okay. So here we are today, right now, the chart. A little different than what we were looking at before, huh? Yeah. Don't get overwhelmed. We're going to go step by step. So left-hand side, ascendant. This relates to identity. This relates to the individual energy, self-focus. Over here, relationship focus, other focus. Up top, the purpose, the full expression. Down below, the root system, the things that are hidden, the foundation. Now, this is in California. A chart will change based on where you are. In the US, it's pretty much going to stay the same, though. So in Germany and Thailand and Bali, your chart may look a little different, but the planets will be in the same signs and the same degrees. And it should be roughly the same, very similar. Okay. So if we have the ascendant in Virgo and we're looking at a time, we're not looking at a person, we're looking at an event. It means that the identity of the event, which would be the full moon day, would be very humble. How it comes across, very humble. Oh my gosh. Very giving, very caring, very healing, not obtrusive, gentle. It's a gentle energy. The depth of it, the IC down here would be Capricorn, which is solid structure. So in the core of this day, where we've got a very solid structure, when we ground into it, it's very stable, which is fantastic, really. If our root system is water, we're going to feel like this. If it's air, we're going to fly up. So when it's earth, it's very stabilizing. And you can feel that today. There is a stabilizing core. Then we have this is interesting. We have the relationship point, the DS. We have the sun there. We have the sun in the relationship house. Interesting. Well, what does that mean? That means relationships that empower others to be independent, brave, and courageous are highlighted. I didn't even look at this chart, but this is literally the perfect chart for me to teach to you all today. Pretty cool. So Aries sun is leadership. It's empowering others to step into their leadership, because Aries is independence and individual. It's actually much more related to the first house. Do you see how this first house has a red color? Do you see how Aries is red? Aries is connected to the first house. That's the home of Aries. Yeah. So the outer wheel here always changes by the time and location that you set the chart, the outer wheel. So think about the clock we talked about. This is one of the gears. So the outer wheel is a gear. It changes based on time and location. Okay. The inner wheel never changes. It is always the same. So the first house is always connected to the energy of Aries. That sun in Aries would fit right in the first house in Aries, but it's not in the first house in Aries. It's in the 7th house of relationship. So we're doing a yoga here. It's a polarity, right? So this is first house, this is 7th house. They're opposite each other, polarity to each other. So that means we're learning about our identity through relationships. We're learning about who we are, our individualism, our identities through the portal of other, relating to other. Isn't that interesting? Yeah. We come up to the MC, the midheaven, the second sun, and it's in Cancer. Well, Cancer is the home. So we have another yoga. This is purpose, and we have home. And this is home, and we have career. So we have this like yoga happening on all the houses in terms of they're not what they're normally used to being. So check this out. So do you see how that's like a dark golden color there? And then it's a dark golden color here. You see how that top house usually is associated with this one. So Cancer is usually associated with number 4, but it's in 10. And you see how 10 is purple and how Capricorn down here is purple? So they're reversed, right? So we're building business and structure at home, which is typically done up here in the 10th. And we're cultivating family and community where we typically would be doing business. What? Did you notice how that kind of happened here tonight? But that's my style. I like to flip everything around so that we can bring love into new spaces and places, right? Like a gathering that's an event, it's a 5-day challenge, but we're going to turn this into a community of a family, essentially. We're turning something that's typically a business into a familial environment. So tonight's chart is so perfect for what we're doing here. Now, Cancer up here at the top is ruled by the moon. So to know more about the energetics of our purpose tonight, we have to find the moon. Moon in Virgo. Virgo, service, emotional service, healing. So we're tapping into our purpose by emotionally healing our bodies. healing the emotions of our bodies. Did we do that? Yeah, I think we did. I think we did. So we are intuitively, psychically, simply aligning to the energetics of the astrological chart. And I've seen this so many times. It's intuitive, it's all energy, right? So constellations are energy, planets are energy. And so we've just aligned to that. Anyone have any questions? I just shared a really massive, a lot of information with you. Anyone, because if you have them and you don't ask them, you're not gonna move forwards with me. And so I want you all to stay with me. So if there's anything at all that didn't make sense that you have a question on, please ask now, because someone else out there may have the same question, and it will allow everyone to go faster together. So any questions, really, any at all? Yeah, go ahead, Stefan.
So you just said we have to find the moon. Was it because of Cancer or because of the midheaven?
Yes, so Cancer midheaven is, so each sign, remember how we went through all the signs? Each sign is ruled by a planet. And I'll put a bonus in the group tonight that shows which sign is ruled by which planet, because that's really helpful as you're learning this stuff. And so Cancer is ruled by the moon, nurturing, home, family. And so here we have the midheaven in Cancer, which is purpose, being ruled by home and comfort and nourishment. But it's in the house of sort of being outer directed. Remember I said this is the outer giving. It's the highest, most yang. So that's unusual. Typically, yang energy is more assertive and strong and stern. But we have Cancer, which is water, ruled by emotion, the moon. So it's bringing the feminine mother energy up into the role of kind of the father energy. So the mother being the leader, which is ironic because I have a very motherly energy and I'm getting to lead you all tonight. So it's very interesting and bizarre how that's lining up. And so the chart can often, we may find ourselves expressing it organically in our own lives. And then like, I'll open up the chart and be like, oh my God, that's exactly what I did today. And I'll just laugh because it's just funny. So yeah. So this full moon tonight is the sun in Aries, opposite. Do you see how they're opposite each other? The moon in Virgo. Sun in Aries, the head, moon in Virgo, the stomach. So potential challenge areas for people at the full moon time could be the head and the stomach. Or the nervous system, because Virgo is also affects the nervous system. Yeah. The other thing I want to point out is that we have Venus, Chiron, Mercury, Destiny, Neptune, Mars, all in Pisces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 things in water. There's a lot of water. It's a lot of emotion. We have Chiron, the wounded healer, conjunct Venus, Venus being love. Chiron is the past wound. In Pisces, it's psychic. Okay, and so there could be some type of psychic wound around love. Mercury being retrograde, very close to these three. A wound around love that's being brought up to the surface that you're thinking about or feeling into. And we've got the destiny point, which is the purpose. And it's our purpose to heal all of this. It's our purpose to open up to our psychic abilities. It's our purpose to fully step into our intuitive self, our feminine self. Yeah. So this is a lot of information. I don't typically like to share a full-on chart so soon in the training because a lot of people can tend to feel overwhelmed by it. Okay. So any questions out there? Anyone want to talk about anything they're noticing? Anyone, there's a lot of info there, but it'd be good if someone wanted to engage here because then we could have a bit of a conversation and I can answer questions that you may have. Yeah, go ahead, John.
Well, first of all, I liked how you went through all the astrological signs from the top of the head to the feet.
Mhm.
And you were talking about Jupiter as the millionaire planet. And I think you said something about a billionaire planet, but you didn't say which one. And then you talk about the planets, the houses, and astrology signs as 3 different gears
Mhm.
of the clock. So I guess I was curious, what's the billionaire planet? And we're definitely going to do this like Thursday and Friday, you said? We're going to do
Oh,
another
yeah.
video?
Yeah, we're gonna definitely go through, well, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. We have 3 days.
Okay, just making sure.
Yeah, we're gonna go through everyone's charts to reveal their Chiron, to reveal their millionaire and billionaire planet, as well as other things that come up that need to be talked about. So we're gonna look at everyone's chart around those themes. And so to answer your question, yeah, Jupiter is the millionaire planet, and it is actually at this full moon exactly conjunct Uranus right here in Aries. It's like the last degrees. You see here how Taurus is right here?
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're both about to jump into Taurus.
And Taurus is the throat, right? Yeah.
The throat and money and beauty and abundance and wealth, all that kind of stuff.
Or the earth too, or the
And the earth,
femininity.
the feminine energy.
Okay.
This actually started Saturday night. And I thought that was really interesting because that was the peak of the Jin event, the dream weekend. And Jupiter is the teacher energy. And Uranus is the collective, right? And so there's this big teacher energy, right, Kevin, coming and sharing all this information with a ton of people right as these 2 planets came together. Like exactly. And so what does this mean? So Jupiter is expansion. It's the millionaire planet. It's currently in the last degree of Aries. And so there's this last sort of fiery hurrah of like this strong masculine energy. People might be driving more aggressively than normal right now in this energy. It also is a lot of money potential and opportunities, and Uranus is unexpected happenings, unexpected opportunities with Jupiter. So if Jupiter's opportunities, blessings, gifts, and abundance, then Uranus is change, unexpected happenings, lightning bolts of inspiration, invention, it's creativity. Think Albert Einstein, think Tesla, think anyone who's ever had this idea that's outside the box and doesn't fit in at all, but they have a vision that's important for humanity. That's what Uranus energy is. Now think Jupiter. I always think of like, some of the big teachers, like, I guess Kevin Trudeau could be a Jupiter type energy, right? This big energy, and he affects
He's
a
awesome. I
lot
know
of
him.
people. Right. Right. You could think of like Mother Teresa, you could think of Amma, you could think about Buddha, people who have this huge impact, just like Jupiter, the planet, is huge. Right. And so having Jupiter and Uranus together right now means that blessings, abundance, and opportunities are happening. They're happening, like doors are opening, expansion is occurring. And all of that energy is just about to shift into kind of a different frequency here. So the opportunities might change a little bit in flavor, but it's still going to be this happening vibe for the next month or so around money making and around opportunities coming in and around expansion and growth. It's like, whoa, like when I think of Jupiter, I think of, whoa, right? It's just like huge energy, right? It's in people's charts, it can mean that they're big, so you got to watch your belly because it's like Jupiter energy is just like, whoa, it's expanding energy. Jupiter loves good food and drink, right? The more the merrier. The more the merrier. It's I always think of Jupiter as the cosmic Santa Claus. With the bag full of gifts.
Cool.
So this is
I had one more question. You talked about the Chiron wound,
Yep.
and then you talked about Ophiuchus. How do you spell Ophiuchus?
Yep.
Ophiuchus?
Yep. O-P-H.
Okay. OP.
O-P-I-C-H. Oh gosh. I'll put it in the chat. I
Okay,
still,
so it is a
I
tough one.
still have to think
Okay.
about it.
Yeah.
O-P. It's such a weird spelling too. There we go. I think I did it. Ophiuchus. So where is it? Yeah. So
Okay.
tonight, the full moon, it's down here, at least in California, US, and it's in the second house. And so that means making money through sharing information about sacred, secret knowledge of energy. Right? It means creating value through conversations about the energetics of our beingness.
Okay.
Because the second house is the money house. So one thing we maybe need to do is to go through each house. And I should put, that's what I'll do. Thank you, John. You're helping me figure out how to teach this better. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a constellation sign by each of the houses to help teach you all what each house is related to. Because these just line up with the constellations. Does that make sense? Like each house, the first house relates to Aries, the head. The second house relates to Taurus, the throat. The third house to Gemini, the arms. The fourth house, the breasts. The fifth, or Cancer. The fifth house, the heart, or Leo. The sixth house, Virgo, or the stomach. Seventh house, Libra, or marriage, relationship. The eighth house, Scorpio, the scorpion, intimacy, transformation. The ninth, and then Ophiuchus is in the eighth house as well. And so it just kind of is a pattern that keeps repeating. The only thing that changes is what house the planets are in and what signs are on the outer wheel of the chart. Okay, so
Okay.
inner wheel stays the same. It's always the same foundation. Time changes the outer circle. And the planets, where were they at the time that we did this chart? So a lot of planets under the horizon line. Do you see that? So this is the horizon line. 1, 2, like tons of planets under the horizon line. So it's more of a yin time, if that makes sense. It's more internal. It's a full moon, which typically means like, whoa, big energy. But have you noticed it's not really like that this time? It's kind of like, I'm tired. Like this is some intense energy. I'm gonna take a nap or something, man. Like, whoa. And so that's typically what we notice when there's so many planets under the horizon line.
Awesome. And the Chiron wound, what's the
Yeah.
Chiron wound?
Yeah, so Chiron, so here's the deal. We have all the planets that are up in the sky today, right? That's what we're all sort of energetically in. And then we have our own individual birth chart from the time we were born. So if we were to look at the collective Chiron wound, it's going to be different than what our individual Chiron wound is. Okay. So tonight, our Chiron wound is in, for the collective, for everyone, it's in Pisces. So what does that mean? That means intuition. That means our psychic ability. It's really why I did this training, because I was thinking, I was like, well, if the Chiron is in Pisces, that means for everyone that our abilities and gifts as intuitive, psychic, artists, like those kind of watery, emotional, intuitive senses are very heightened right now. So any past lives where we had trauma around these sort of issues could be sort of coming up for us. And so if they're coming up for us, I thought, well, why don't we talk about it? And why don't we help to heal whatever this wounding is? So if you think about your psychic gifts, you know, how safe do you feel to express them? If you think about your intuitive gifts, how safe do you feel to express them? If you think about your spiritual path and spirituality. How safe do you feel to follow your spirituality? So this can relate to past life trauma around religion, right? Persecution, around our beliefs about God, our beliefs about our spiritual truth. Lily Ma, or someone who was here last night for the energy clearing, would how are you all? We did a big clearing around feeling safe to express our spiritual gifts. I was really curious to ask you all if you'd had anything you've noticed after the clearing last night, or just even now when I talk about, feeling safe to express spiritual gifts. Do you feel a shift or change, and would you be open to sharing or expressing any of that? That would be really cool to hear if you were, but you don't have to. The- So, okay, if not tonight, I can ask tomorrow. So, oh, someone's in the chat. Go ahead. Okay, so Lily Moss said she's feeling safer today. Yeah. Yeah, that's so cool. I was thinking while I was doing the energy work with you all that I felt the safest I've ever felt to just unleash my full gifts with you all. Like it just was coming out and I was not shy at all. And normally I would have been like way more like, okay, I don't want to be too eccentric
Aw.
what comes through. And so tonight I didn't feel any holding back at all. I was like, whoa. So I think it must have really done something. So that's really awesome. If you haven't gotten a chance, I'll put the replay up. And the clearing we did last night was just like profound. So really beautiful. John also asked, so he asked what the billionaire planet is. Okay, are you guys ready? Do you guys want to know what the billionaire planet is? So it's Venus, of course, right? The goddess of love, the goddess of beauty, the planet representing the feminine energy is the billionaire energy. Interesting, right? So the billionaire planet is actually literally conjunct Chiron, the wounded healer, tonight at the full moon. And so that is part of why I am doing this event about healing our relationship to our spiritual gifts and coming through with money and abundance, right? And being able to provide for our families and create income through our spiritual gifts, because the billionaire planet is conjunct it. So I realized that by sharing our spiritual gifts and by helping to heal the spiritual wound, we are all opening up to receive greater money into our lives, because this very wound of Chiron could be what is holding back the wealth and abundance in the collective field. Pretty cool, huh? Yeah. John, does that answer your question? I don't know if you're still there. If you're not, that's okay. Hopefully that answers your questions. Does anyone else have any questions here? Yeah, go ahead, Stefan.
I would also like to know, like, what is, so if you're sharing it in the upcoming days, like what's the, like, you're always saying, okay, Virgo is this and that, and Cancer is the home, like all the,
the ruling
what
planet
is
for
what?
the signs. Yeah. Yeah, what is what? Yeah, so Venus is the goddess of love, right? And so Venus rules the planet, or Taurus is ruled by Venus. So Venus rules Taurus, right? Aries is ruled by Mars. Mercury rules Virgo, or I actually should say Gemini. Mercury rules Gemini, right? Neptune rules Pisces. So Neptune is the god of the ocean, and Neptune rules the billionaire planet right now. So water is a really good way to make money right now. Water, emotion, intuition, anything to do with the ocean, fish, imagination. Neptune rules film and cinematography. So photography and film are a really great way to make money right now. As well as Neptune connects to artists and musicians. Anything and anyone does to create fantasy and imagination. And so with the full moon having this Venus, Chiron, Sun energy, we shine as we create wealth and heal our psychic, intuitive, artistic wounds. Wow. Now, Mercury is retrograde, so we may not be thinking as clearly as we'd like to be, because Mercury is the mind, and it's retrograde, which relates to all things from the past that have yet to be resolved and finished. Mercury goes direct, yay, in a couple days, like 2 days. So the shift is happening where we'll be a little more cognizant, a little more clear. Things won't be so watery in our minds. There'll be a little more forward moving as we go forwards from this full moon. Yeah. We also have, remember how I started this talking about Pluto? This is Pluto down here. Pluto, of course, rules Scorpio. We talked about Scorpio energy and how intense Scorpio energy is. So Pluto, do you see how the moon is on the left and the sun is on the right and Pluto's in the middle? That's actually called a square. You see how there's a line from Pluto going up to the left and there's a square, and up to the right and there's a square. So Pluto is squaring the sun and the moon. And it's also the midpoint. It's conjunct the midpoint between the sun and the moon. So it's not just squaring them, but it's literally in the middle between the sun and the moon. So what that means, sun can represent father, moon can represent mother. Pluto can represent death, transformation, intensity, sex. So there's either going to be like a very fiery, sensual energy with this full moon. It will maybe extra amorous. There could be deep, intense emotion. Pluto is also the god of the underworld and secrets. And so there could be secrets being brought to light around the feminine, emotional, and the solar masculine energies. Father, mother. Mother, father. Sun can also represent the leaders of our land. Moon can represent the collective unconscious of the world. And so Pluto being there is saying truth is going to be revealed from this full moon, because sun is illuminating, moon is illuminating. Pluto is secrets. Pluto is assisting to illuminate secrets held within our emotional body and secrets held within our soul. So what that may look like is Pluto being the subconscious mind. Everything that's been buried, suppressed, pushed down, and notice how it's in the root system of this chart, right? It's down in the bottom. So it's even deeper. When it's that deep, we might not know what's happening. We might not have a friggin' clue as to what's being brought up within us. However, by knowing Pluto here, by knowing Pluto is bringing this up to the surface, the invitation is for you to trust and relax into what is coming up to the surface and hold space for it. Allow it. Notice what's coming up and let it come through and out. Okay. So now I would like to take this pattern and I'd like to look at a few of your charts and show you where the sun, moon, and Pluto energy are activating you. Does it sound like fun? We get to see this in action now?
Sure.
Yeah, this is where it gets exciting. And then we'll call it for the day, because you guys have gone long tonight. I was going to go, but you know, if you want to keep going, I'll keep going. So let's see. We'll start with you, John, since you've been so active and participating, and it's awesome. So
Cool.
here we go. This is your chart. I know you may not know what any of it means yet. That's okay. Great picture, by the way. So, so let's find where the sun would be in your astrological chart. So how do we do that? Well, the sun is at 2 degrees of Aries. So we're going to look where you have 2 degrees of Aries. And for you, you have 2 degrees of Aries right here in the 6th house of health and service. Working. It's the house of work, right? You just
Huh.
got a new job. Very interesting. Sun is illumination. So sun energy just brought new energy into your house of work and service. Pretty cool. It also means that you're a leader at work. You lead when you're at work. You're a leader. You also have some Pisces there, so you're very emotional, empathic, intuitive, and caring to your colleagues, always. But then underneath it, super leader, super strong leadership energy. Moon would be here, very close to your Pluto, actually. So Pluto, again, in your 12th house of the inner self, the 12th house being the reflective house before you're born, ascendant, birth. So this is that in the womb space in your chart. This is like your subconscious dream world place is where you have Pluto in Virgo, which is health and healing. So you're able to maybe help to bring transformation into people's subconscious around their health, around their spiritual health and well-being. You're able to assist people to transform. And with the moon there, there's nourishment for the depth of you happening tonight. Full moon, full illumination of the deeper parts of yourself that maybe you were like not expecting at all, right? Moon, full moon, activating that Plutonian energy of power that you hold to bring transformation to people's psychic, intuitive, emotional spaces. Sun, moon, opposite. That means that your house of inner reflection, the 12th house, the house of psychic energy and meditation, 12th house, opposite 6th house, work and service. There's a polarity between how much you work and how much you go within. You're finding a balance between work and service and inner reflection and outer work and service and giving. Now, Pluto is down here in your 3rd house. And so Pluto's activating that sun moon opposition, activating your house of reflection and your house of service. In the 3rd house is communication. So Pluto is inviting you to transform the structure of how you communicate. And so maybe you're communicating about this new job and maybe even communicating about your inner space and your psychic abilities and your intuitive abilities, which is so perfect for what we're working on tonight and what we're going into, right? Psychic gifts, work and service, right? Pluto, and communicating about them, having an open throat space to being able to share about what you do for your work and what you do as your healing that you also bring through. You also have in your chart, your moon is in Ophiuchus. Pretty cool. So what does that mean? That means that you probably studied the ancient secret mystery schools very deeply. You were probably a priest or an initiate in these ancient secret sacred training organizations that have gone on for thousands of years, which, you know, we know many people involved in these circles now. And so moon and Ophiuchus in the 2nd house of money and finances means that you might very well be able to make money through your knowledge, which may be coming up for you more and more. The more training that you do, the more awareness you come to, and to trust that more. When I see moon and Ophiuchus, I immediately know that you've had quite a lot of training in past lives. Quite a lot. Okay. And so to trust yourself more around what you already know and to allow yourself to be seen. because what happened with Ophiuchus is that we lived in these societies where it was allowed to practice the knowledge we were taught. We lived in temples where it was allowed and accepted part of society. And then something happened and it wasn't accepted anymore. And so those of us that held the sacred knowledge faced quite a lot of persecution and having to hide and go underground and keep the knowledge secret. And so now we're entering a new era where it is safer, more and more safer to share our spiritual gifts with the world. Okay. And so this is an amazing opportunity for you to embrace, allow, accept, and receive more of yourself being brought through to share your gifts with people and nurture people through what you know. And if you feel like you need to hide, it's time to work on that and allow yourself to come out. Ophiuchus tends to carry quite a lot of freaking fear around being seen because it wasn't safe before, right? It just wasn't. Okay. And so there's healing to be done and love to be had for those places and spaces that are in you and within you. And you're in a safe space now, and you're in a group of people who are probably all working on a similar task, which is what this is really what this class is about, is healing the deep-seated soul traumas that keep us from fully stepping forward and clearing the oaths and vows and promises and whatever we made to poverty, that we made to never have money, that we took in or bought in, that we must starve in order, that we must like never touch money for our healing work. We must never touch money for our service. And so cancel, destroy and uncreate all of that stuff times a godzillion to all that is, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, covids and beyonds, all those oaths, vows, promises, fealties, communities, commitments, contracts, bindings, swearings that we ever made in this lifetime or any other around money and healing, to never be a healer and spend money, to never have money, to never touch money, all those oaths and vows of poverty from this life or any other, anything and everything that brings up or lets down from this lifetime or any other, will you please now that you had to never touch money to get close to God, everything that brings up or lets down, will you please now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all? Just say yes.
Yes.
Right and wrong, bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. Take a really deep breath in. Stretch it out, yawn it out. Let it go. Yep. More to be done there, but we might as well just get a little early start on it. Yeah, let it out. Let it out. Let it out. Fantastic. Anywhere, everywhere, we have blocked the flow of abundance because of any oaths or vows or promises or fealties or commitments or contracts or bindings or swearings or curses or spells we made or did to ourselves or anyone else in this lifetime or any other around money, around wealth, around abundance, around us allowing and receiving infinite abundance for our soul gifts, anything and everything that brings up or lets down. Will you please now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all? Just say yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds, and just let it out. Let it out. And we just command the spirit of poverty to leave the space. So if anyone has any connection to the spirit of poverty from this lifetime or any other, we embraced it, we took it on, we thought it was holy, we thought it was spiritual, we thought it was getting us closer to God. Any oaths or vows or promises or fealties or communities or commitments or contracts or bindings or swearings that we made to the spirit of poverty from this lifetime or any other, will you please now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all, please, times a godzillion to all that is now, please. Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all 9 shorts, boys, covids, and beyonds. Take a nice deep breath in and a nice deep breath out. Put a nice deep breath in And a nice deep breath out. And we ask for complete change of history, levels 1, 2, and 3 around this, whatever that brings up or lets down in the highest and best order. Now, please. Yes, please. Thank you. Super conscious. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. And that's it. These things are buried very deep in the etheric body. If you're not attuned to the higher frequencies, you may not ever notice or care, but they could be holding you back. And so it's very beneficial to know tools that can assist you in clearing them and letting them fully go. And we ask for complete unconditional love healing around everyone, around the spirit of abundance and the spirit of wealth and the spirit of prosperity. And we just ask that you all be filled up now, that you know how to receive this, you know what it feels like to receive this. And we ask that any oaths, vows, promises, fealties, commitments, contracts, bindings, swearings, blocking the spirit of prosperity, blocking the spirit of wealth and abundance, everything that brings up or lets down now to please now, revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all, please, yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, covids, and beyond. Good, and we just ask everyone now be filled up with the spirit of abundance, the spirit of prosperity, the spirit of wealth, the spirit of havingness, beingness, allowingness, just that spirit of wealth and abundance. We ask for a complete, any resistance or fear that the spirit of abundance or prosperity or wealth brings up for us. We ask the super conscious to now tag all of those, and we ask for a complete change of history, levels 1, 2, 3, and everything is needed through all directions of time and space, please now. Thank you in the highest and best for everyone. Holy, that was a good one. All right, deep breath in, deep breath out. Okay, fantastic. Okay, and shake it out and just ask Creator to just bless and shower everyone off, shower off the space, unconditional love, clearing out the space, clearing out anything and everything that needs to be cleared out. Yep. I'm noticing how powerful having an astrological chart open is for the person receiving. The person whose chart is open, I think, receives some of the deepest healing of anyone in the group because their star map is here. And it's really special. Yeah. John, how are you doing over there?
I'm good. feeling a little giddy, but I'm
Oh,
fine. I
good.
really appreciate this.
That's good. That's a good sign. Giddy is a really good sign. That means lighter, right? It's like energy is rising. You're gonna drink a lot of water tonight, okay? A lot of something sweet.
Yeah, my cup's empty. I need to go refill it.
Yeah, go get your water. Okay. We're gonna move on to our next friend. So feel free to get some water and
Cool.
just take that process through to where you need it. Okay. So Lily Ma has been waiting on the edge of her seat for hours now, I bet you, to see a glimpse of her new special chart. Yes, she's like, yes, Lotus, that is true. So let's do it, shall we? And let's make sure I got it right. And I just love this picture of you and David. It's just so pretty. So 1984, 15th of December, 2242. Okay. Okay, so this is Lily Ma has never gotten to see this chart. So this is she's like all eyes, all on deck. So I thought it was really interesting that in this chart, your ascendant is Leo. Okay, so which makes sense because you have this very beautiful presence. It's very lion-like. It's beautiful. And that means your ruling planet of your ascendant is the sun. And you have your sun in Ophiuchus. You have Mercury in Ophiuchus down in the 4th house of the mom, right? So being a mama, being a nurturing, nourishing presence could be like one of your biggest purposes, right? In terms of what you're you really feel fulfilled by. It's a just natural, beautiful thing for you. Okay. I'll let you get a screenshot so you can definitely take this and look at it more. And now I want to dive into where this sun moon opposition is affecting your chart personally, right? So the sun tonight at the full moon is in your 8th house, and the 8th house is Scorpio's house. Okay, so this has to do with intimacy, intensity, depth, transformation. It's a very deep place to have the sun shining right now. So it could be illuminating and bringing to light, transformation. It could be bringing to light more intimacy. You might be feeling more connected to your partner or craving more intimacy, craving more connection. Wow, you also have Pluto in Virgo, and that's where the moon is. So the moon in this opposition is conjunct your Pluto right now, which is the ruler of the 8th house, which is where the sun is in your chart. And it's also conjunct your sun moon midpoint, which is the point between your sun and your moon. So it's a very powerful point to have Pluto and the sun moon midpoint together. In Virgo is the doctor. It's the healer, right? So you have maybe very deep power of healing the body. You have abilities at seeing kind of into the body and how to heal it on a deep level. And having the moon conjunct these two could mean that you're feeling very nourished and nurtured to go very deep into your consciousness. Right? The places and spaces that are the deepest in you tonight are receiving a lot of nourishment, a lot of gentleness, a lot of like, kind of like a hug from the mama, right? Which is such a nice feeling for Pluto because it can be sort of intense. So having the moon there could make the moon a little uncomfortable, like, oh my God, this is so much emotion. But at the same time, it kind of supports the process. And it's in the 2nd house, which is money and finances. And so emotionally, you might be thinking about wealth. You might be thinking about abundance and like emotionally really, Virgo is very humble. It's very service oriented. It's a very giving nature when it comes to money. And so you may not have had a nature that's like, I need to possess tons of money. You might be more like, I want to give money. Right? Like I want to serve the planet. I want to help people have money. And so health and healing are two facets and ways that you can bring money through very, very well. A natural doctor, a natural healer, your energy, a natural yoga teacher, a natural plant person, good with plants, good with animals, good with everything that grows in the earth, right? The earth mother. Herbology. Those are all really great ways for making money, and having the moon there really shows a lot of like emotional intuition. So you might be having greater insight, illumination around ways to create income. Right. So I'm reading your chart, but I'm also letting myself turn into an oracle. And so what's coming through, like I literally am not thinking, it's just coming through for you. And so there's little specific energetic imprints that are coming through for you, as well as the information, which is cool. I'm seeing a garden and I'm seeing money growing out of the plants. And like to have that visual for yourself of like a flower just handing you a $100 bill and the fruit handing you a $100 bill, and you're just walking around the garden and collecting all this money. And it's like your heart is blossoming because you're seeing that you don't need to disconnect your connection to nature and money, that they can be connected. And I'm hearing to share with all of you this whole money thing. Money is not clean. It's actually full of karma. And so as very sensitive beings, we often refuse money because it feels heavy and yucky. And so there's a really simple tool that I want to share with you all that we can all do now. Visualize a gate filled with white light that you place around you and around your bank account. Okay. And this white light is going to purify any money or any abundance that comes your way. So imagine someone's about to pay you money into your account. Now place this gate with the white light in front of it and allow any money coming to you command that it be purified completely through pure white light, so that no money ever comes into your account, into your wallet, without first going through the purification gate. And that just clears out all the karma, clears out all the density, clears out all the other people's emotions and things attached to it. And so only pure money will enter your bank account. Only pure money will enter your wallet. And you clear it, you cleanse it. It doesn't matter where it came from. It doesn't matter what happened before. You're allowing that money to come in so you can receive it through the purity gate, the pure white light. Cleansing and purifying all money, currency, value as it enters your physical energy body space. And seeing and feeling how beautiful money feels. It's just white light itself, right? It's just energy. Once you clear it and once you purify it, all the yuckiness can go away, because it's not, money is not good or bad. It's just had all this stuff attached to it. So if you can just clear off all the gunk, and so that the money that comes your way into your pocketbook, into your wallet, into your life is purified and cleared first. And just feel how good that feels, and see how now when you're out walking in the garden and the money appears, it goes through this white light gate. And so that money in the garden is just like a flower, right? It's just like, it's literally clear and clean now, just like the garden is, just like your soul is. And so money doesn't have to feel like this heavy, dense thing anymore. It can just feel like energy. And notice how much more money you feel open to receiving as it's cleansed and purified first. Into your bank account, into your wallet, into your life, to purchase food and to purchase clothing and to pay the electricity bill, or maybe to pay for the money to go off grid and live on a farm and live in the country. And just notice how more money can come in now, that you don't have to worry about it being gunky or heavy. It's just clean. It's just clear. It's just special and a gift for you. Good. And just take a deep breath in and out. And just feel how much more value and abundance that you can easily call in. A gift to you. Yeah. And I think everyone's feeling that. It's powerful. How's that feel, Lilima? Yeah. Okay. So you probably want to know where that Pluto energy is. If we have your moon in the first house, or I'm sorry, in the second house of abundance, we have the sun activating the 8th. So your second house of money, material things, and then your 8th house of soul, intimacy, transformation, sun, moon. And then you have Capricorn in the 5th house, which is romance, it's children, it's fun, it's hobbies, and it's Leo's house. So it's like where we like to play and have fun. And so with Pluto there right now, this whole year for you, and it's very close to Venus, which is the billionaire planet, you may be going through like a very deep transformation around what you love to do, right? Like your hobbies and like how you like to express yourself. And you have Leo rising, which is your identity, who you are, and the 5th house is Leo's house. And so you're really going through this deep transformation with Pluto and Capricorn here around romance, around love, around fun. Like, what does that mean? Like, what do you really enjoy to do? And so Venus with Pluto this whole year could mean that you might be able to make a lot of money through transformation, like a transformational business, because Capricorn is business, some type of structure that involves transformation and beauty, which could be like a beautiful clothing item that's also transformational, like a bracelet or a necklace, something that's earth, that's also transformational, then beautiful. And so the secret with these aspects is to really claim the right. So it could be positive or negative, and we get to choose which way we go with it. Right. So it could be like intensity and drama around fun and romance, or you could be like, oh, well, why don't I just turn transformation into a business and like make some money? Venus conjunct Pluto, Venus, the billionaire planet, through a transformational product that I can share with people that's really fun. Right. So it's like Pluto doesn't have to be scary. It's just claiming it. So there's a story of an astrologer who had a Pluto aspect in his chart, and he suddenly had a client who was in the mafia show up. This guy's like, my girlfriend broke up with me. And suddenly he has a mafioso guy crying in his living room asking for astrology readings. And this guy kept showing up with his buddies, and this was like really scary for the guy. So he decided to enroll. He went to see his teacher, and his teacher's like, well, Pluto's there. It's the underworld. It's the hidden things. It's the subconscious. It's transformation. You can either keep having this guy coming around, or you could find some way to put this to work for yourself. So he went and he enrolled in psychology and started learning really deep psychoanalysis and working with people on a very deep level. And the mafioso guy disappeared, right? So it's just like we have to put the energetics to work. Otherwise, they'll affect us negatively, right? So finding some way to put the Pluto around structure to work for you when it comes to your hobbies. You know, maybe that could be learning about the transformational power of crystals. Maybe that could be studying the land where you live and the flowers that grow there and learning their transformational abilities. Maybe that could be creating a structure that is healing, you know, like building something that is a container for people to have soul transformation. You know, really, it's any hobby, maybe even going on like a date that's like really deep and intense. Like maybe it's like we're going to go on a date, we're going to share our hearts really deeply, and we're going to bond over, you know, we're going to go to the hot springs and we're going to talk about deep stuff, or we're going to build somewhere that we're going to pass a rock back and forth and share the deepest things that we want to communicate. It's taking love, romance, fun, children, delight, hobbies, and finding a way to create a transformational structure process that you can enjoy and maybe then make money through. So that resonating for you? Yeah. Okay. I think everyone's really quiet tonight. Yeah, go ahead.
It does resonate with me. It's interesting. I'm just kind of looking at my chart. Most of my planets are below the surface. Too.
Yeah, I think that was similar to the first one too, that we did, which is interesting. At least I remember what I do remember talking about before was about motherhood being important for you. And it's so interesting in this chart how it's so much about motherhood, like the sun and the planet of communication. And it's not just motherhood, but it's home and it's intimacy and it's emotion and it's the hearth, you know, it's that home and family energy.
And
go ahead.
recently I've been called to help women with their hormonal challenges.
Yeah.
Just like randomly women, I think a lot of women don't know that they can actually do things naturally for their hormones. So recently I had a friend reach out to me because she was having some challenges with her hormones and she was going down the path of, you know, pharmaceuticals and everything. And she's like, this says something doesn't feel right to me. So I was like, well, here's some information. I'm not an expert in it, but here's some information that's really helped me. So I feel very passionate about it. Maybe that's something I can potentially inform myself more.
Yes. And with Virgo in the second house, that's the healer and that's herbology, right? And that's like the best way for you to make money. So you really might, and then you have Venus, which is the billionaire planet, and women in Capricorn, which is a business with women, is what I would say. right? And I bet herbalism is a bit of a hobby for you, right? So it's in the house of hobbies, but it's also a really great way for you to make money, which is really cool that you're just coming upon it. And you also have Moon in Virgo, which is healer. So you have healer energy really strong, especially herbology healing energy. And then we come up to the midheaven up here, the MC, which is purpose. And you have Chiron conjunct it. And Chiron is the wounded healer, right? And Taurus, the sign, is ruled by Venus, women. So purpose could be making a business with women where you assist them to heal really deep stuff. Plus your destiny point is conjunct those three. So your destiny point, your wounded healer, and your midheaven purpose are all in Taurus in the 9th house of the teacher. And Taurus is the earth, just like Virgo is the earth. So it's plants, it's nature, it's abundance, right? What is the most abundant thing a woman does? She has, she gives birth, right? And what is something you have to give birth? Balanced hormones. How can you be a beautiful, bountiful woman? Have balanced hormones, right? So it really feels so aligned with your purpose. Now seeing your chart and being able to affirm that for you. Thank you, Michael, for getting. So Michael actually tested Lily Ma's birth time because we didn't know her birth information exactly. And so we asked Michael to do some muscle testing for it. And yeah, he went and he tested it. It's like an hour-long session because you clear a lot of stuff in order to get to the actual information. Way to go. It's probably pretty powerful. And so looking at her chart, I can see now that we have the accurate birth time, how aligned her purpose is to helping women, especially. Taurus is ruled by Venus, which is the feminine. It's got Chiron, the wounded healer, so helping women to heal very deep physical body symptoms. Taurus is the physical body. Destiny point Taurus, also about, building something solid, something stable, something that lasts, like a business that has value and you earn money and income to serve your own needs and to build your own grounded future. Destiny point Taurus really, really relates to you building a financial safety and security in your life as part of your purpose. And kind of letting go of the past, maybe being more reliant like on a partner, and actually you being able to be financially independent in a partnership, right? You don't have to give up partnership, but like the financial independence part is so empowering for women, right? To be grounded in your own life to the point where you can provide, right, for what it is you want to create. So, wow, Lily Ma, that's so cool. That's so awesome. I give you my full blessing and for that endeavor. And I also see that, yeah, you do have a lot under the horizon line, but your destiny point is in the 9th house of far foreign travel and teaching. You may have Chiron here, perhaps past life wounding around travel and around abundance and like prosperity and like the earth plane, right? You might be more used to things being like working with a partner and being cared for in that way, but like actually making your own stability and security might be kind of a new phenomenon. And so learning how to do that and, providing the support you need to bring those things forward is really powerful. Really big gift you're giving yourself. And I feel so excited for you because I feel the herbology helping the women and I feel it helping you. And I see that nice infinity sign going. It's really cool. Super cool. And you're in a beautiful place to kind of shine for women, right? You're in Thailand. Like that's just such a beautiful place. It's a very feminine place, right? And they do a lot of work with herbs as well, right? So who knows what kind of cool collaborations you might run into with that. And like the local herbalists. Whoa. Oh my gosh. I mean, Eat, Pray, Love, right? That was filmed there. So, or Bali, not Thailand, but close, right? I'm very close. Yeah, any questions? And your chart is phenomenal. I can't wait to like dive in more with you as we go through the next couple days. Because there's a lot more.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. This might not be relevant to what we're
Yeah,
talking about. So I know you mentioned the IC being
yeah,
the root of
yes.
the MC. So I'm meeting with Michael in a few hours,
Okay.
and I'm just wondering, is there anything that you see that needs more clearing that
Oh
he
wow.
can help with?
Well, you might mention this Chiron in Taurus. Of course, he's not going to know what that means because he doesn't know about this stuff. But what that could relate to is financial security. It could relate
Okay.
to being stable with like stability, security, financial abundance, financial prosperity, kind of building your own physical material success. It can also relate to the throat chakra and speaking and singing and the voice.
Okay.
And it's in, yeah. Okay. Let me look at this for a moment here and see if there's anything that jumps out. That's what really came through the most. Um, okay. I'm just gonna say it. Any persecution trauma around motherhood or birth. Like I'm hearing like, being a healer, being a medicine woman. And I'm getting a little emotional as I say these things. A medicine woman or healer, and maybe having been pregnant and having been hurt. Okay. I would look at that because I think that could really, you're pregnant right now. You're going to give birth to a beautiful baby, and clearing that stuff out might really just lighten you on such a profound level. Like when I see Sun and Mercury in Ophiuchus, I know that you were a priestess and you were trained very deeply, just like John, I was telling you, you were trained very deeply in these ancient secret mysteries. And then you went forth into the world and had to deal with the time when that was not allowed and that was not safe. And you had to hide. And then maybe there were times when you were pregnant or that you were maybe a midwife and you helped other women to give birth. And so there could be some trauma there that maybe hasn't been addressed yet because we haven't had the languaging to, talk about it or even bring it up. But even just testing Ophiuchus, right? Testing Ophiuchus, Sun and Ophiuchus in the fourth house may be really powerful. Or even just fourth house, or even just family, ancestry. Because it could either go back in a past life or it could go back literally in your DNA, because the fourth house is the house of DNA and ancestry. And so the persecution trauma, oh, fourth house relates to the breasts, right? And so there could be persecution trauma around motherhood. Okay, and that's a lot, right? Like that's not an easy thing to hold, and it's happened. I've had to do clearing for myself around this, and a lot of women went through horrible things as mamas. And my friend sent me a video about this woman about witches, right? And it was about the witches kind of taking back the power and like attacking the people who had persecuted them. And there was like a lot of cussing and like threats, and it was kind of healing though, because the divine feminine has gone through a lot, and the divine masculine, both men and women have gone through a lot around persecution. So even just testing persecution, and like feminine spiritual persecution, I'm like gonna cry because this is such a thing. Like it's such a deep thing in our collective field. That healers don't talk about. And that's why I'm doing this, because I see it. I see you all. And I see from having been through my own journey with this type of trauma and not knowing what I felt or why I felt it. And then having the third eye start to open more and like, whoa. Like I didn't want to see that. And yet being such beautiful souls and clear. And it's like, well, how could that have, but yet a lot of times that's what's holding us back. And so I just want to say kind of a blanket clearing for everyone around anything and everything that what I'm talking about is bringing up or letting down from this lifetime or any other around persecution or trauma, around expressing our spiritual gifts and sharing them with the world. Everything that brings up or lets down. Will you please now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all, please? Yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pod and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, povits, and beyonds. And we just ask for all this stuff, a complete change of history for all of you, all of us on levels 1, 2, and 3 in the highest and best way and the highest and best order for all of us around this issue. Oh, I just breathed it out. Oh. Ooh. Oh, here we go. Really good job, everyone. And just an unconditional love healing for your memory bodies, for your etheric bodies, for your spiritual bodies, for your emotional bodies. Love and support. Love and support. And God, please give everyone the spiritual gifts they need to heal this on the deepest levels. And I'm hearing the balm of Gilead to come, and Comfrey and Jasmine to just place this unguence of divine healing through the layers and levels, whatever needs it, in the highest and best way, in the highest and best order. Good, and a deep breath in and out. And so notice how our path has led us to our purpose. Notice how our challenges have led us to our gifts. Notice how what we've gone through has given us blessings in disguise that we may have never noticed till now. And to have gratitude for the depth of compassion and love that we hold because of what we have gone through. And how that can be a gift for humanity. And what a divine treasure your love is. Your infinite love. Your connection to oneness. And just allow that healing to come through for you from God. From Source. The love of the infinite. The love of the divine. Blessing those spaces and places within you that just want to be held, that just want to be loved. Asking for Arnica, Comfrey, a healing unguence. Asking for cellular, molecular healing through the DNA, through the cells, through the soma, the bones, just aligning you back to your center, back to Mama Earth, back to your optimal blueprint of true you, true yes, true beingness. And just asking for unconditional love healing for you through all levels and layers, through all directions of time and space. Asking for your spirit guides and allies and guardians to heal, heal, heal whatever you need to have healed. And any last reminders still needing healing, we ask for complete change of history and everything is needed, levels 1, 2, and 3. In the highest and best way. In the highest and best order. Thank you, God. Thank you, God. It is done. Show us. I'm just asking for divine unconditional love blessings and healings for wherever you need it to be filled up. That's right. Good deep breath in. Deep breath out. And we place you into a healing chamber of unconditional love and light. And ask the healing to continue at night while you sleep tonight, while your waking mind feels refreshed, alert, fantastic, clear, and allow clarity and guidance. And for Lily Ma, asking her superconscious to give her complete clarity and direction on exactly the highest and best thing in her session. That she be guided totally, easily, effortlessly to know exactly the focus and for the session to flow in the most easeful and harmonious way possible, creating the most biggest positive, empowering alignment to her true self shift. Thank you, God. And it is so. Awesome. Thank you. Just coming back at your own speed, feeling safe, grounded. Wiggling, moving, stretching, breathing, being, flowing, integrating, allowing, and just commanding that everything be applied to your 3D universe now, the shifts that we've made. That's it. Yeah, drink some water if you want. And ground in. Yeah.
Let's do it.
Way to go, everyone. Feels lighter, yeah? Yeah, that was kind of a deep thing to talk about, right? I just couldn't leave us in that. So good. We shifted some good things. Now you're going to be ready for a really awesome session. I can't wait to hear about it. Hope it's wonderful. Okay. And we'll keep going Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. We'll talk more about your chart, Lily Ma. And then I think it's gone pretty late and I don't think I have anyone else's charts available because some of y'all jumped on and I didn't know you were coming. So we're going to close for tonight. I'm just going to share this testimonial from my last training for fun. It was so fun. She was talking about the last masterclass. I haven't gotten into astrology because it's been a bit daunting, right? It has seemed so complex and unapproachable for a beginner. The way you taught it last night was so simple and approachable. Learning the framework of it with the 4 pillars provided the foundation for further learning. So I hope that not only did you get some kind of fantastic soul clearing tonight, but that you've gotten a little bit of a deeper understanding of the astrology chart. And hopefully by tomorrow, you'll be even more clear and more awareness coming through. Any final questions or comments or shares before we close up for tonight? Stefan's got
I
his.
was just gonna say, definitely happy birthday. Thanks for letting us hang out with you.
Oh,
It's actually my younger brother's birthday today too, so I don't know what that means, but so there's 2
Hey.
birthdays today. My only full blood brother, but I definitely appreciate you, Lotus Dawn, for doing this. This is wonderful, and I hope some couple more people come the next few days.
Yeah, it'll be great. It'll be great. And if not, you'll get me one-on-one with y'all, which is like a huge gift. And then people will get to see the information, which will come through, which will be awesome. And, I'm super grateful to get to share my birthday with you all. Getting to share this work is such a blessing. Getting to be a conduit for the source energy to come through is the biggest gift. So thank you all for being here to share in that love and that blessing. I really love and appreciate you all so, so much, and so grateful. We've got Thailand, Germany. John, where are you located?
I'm in Lubbock, Texas.
We got Texas, we got California, we got Thailand, we got Germany, we got Santa Cruz. Amazing. Absolutely amazing. We sort of straddled the planet here, which is great. Super cool. So yeah, we'll be live again tomorrow at 5, and tomorrow is going to be focused on sort of an introduction into Chiron, the millionaire billionaire planet, and looking into each of our charts to find out what our kind of configuration of our spiritual gifts or blocks and how to clear them. And then, well, what about our best ways to make money? Like Lily Ma found out tonight, she has Virgo on her money house, and she's into herbology and helping women. And so how cool is that to have that confirmation and that affirmation that, yeah, money and herbology. Powerful. Yeah. Well, I love you all so much, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Stefan, will you message me your birth time information? And I can create your chart for tomorrow. And then, yeah, I look forward to, so wherever anyone has Aries, wherever you have Aries, so I know Jean, I know Alicia Law, you have your charts. And so wherever you have 2 degrees of Aries is where the sun is tonight, and where 41 degrees of Virgo is the moon, Pluto at 1 degree of Capricorn. So if you want to look at that configuration, because that's kind of the like, whoa, 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 like very powerful, energetic. Yeah. So much love, so much light, so grateful for you all. Remember, anything that comes up, send it up to the moon, because the moon is a magnet. So just any last layers of stuff being brought up or let down, just ask for a change history, levels 1, 2, and 3, and everything as needed. And just send anything else up to the moonlight to be transmuted and transformed. Anything blocking you from standing and aligning to your true spiritual path and truth, receiving infinite value for this, right? So aligning to your spiritual gift and purpose, and receiving divine blessings of money, value, currency, wealth, abundance, right? That balance of being both the healing, the energy facilitator, the guide, the teacher, the spiritual teacher, and receiving support and value financially, abundantly, materially, and anything and everything. Woo! Preventing that from happening in any level or layer through our beingness from this lifetime or any other, anything and everything that brings up or lets down. Will you please now revoke, recant, renounce, denounce, destroy, and uncreate all, please? Just say yes, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all 9, shorts, boys, povits, and beyonds, and take a deep breath in and a deep breath out, and any and all resistance or fear around stepping into your true spiritual path and purpose and receiving adequate abundance and compensation for this work being supported through all the levels of your being. Will your superconscious please now tag and treat to a complete change history and everything as needed, levels 1, 2, and 3, and just take a deep breath in. Woo! And out. And we just ask all of your guides and guardians and angels to bless you, to bless your finances, to bless your wallet, to bless your path, your purpose, stepping into your alignment and your flow, and allowing the gifts of God and Spirit to bless you, all your spiritual gifts from God, asking God to please bless you with all the highest and best spiritual gifts that will allow you to step into the path of your purpose and receive infinite value and prosperity and wealth for that which you are and give. Oh, and just allow it and to know how to use them. Good deep breath in and out. Beautiful. And so we say to go with God, to go with Source, to go with Spirit. You are infinitely blessed. You are loved. And may your path May you walk, your path forward now be paved in gold. Every step forward may it be paved in gold. An infinite abundance. Yeah, your every touch. Thank you, God. Make it so. Beautiful. Thanks. It's nice to walk on. Feels good. All right, my friends. Love you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. Hi.
Thank you so much, Lotus. I'm wondering if maybe we can all sing you happy birthday before we go.
I would love
I'm up
that.
for it.
I would
Yeah.
love that. I love singing. My favorite, so I will receive that with a very full heart. I've had so many people sing to me today, and I'm so happy about it. So please, I'm ready.
Well, maybe we can all unmute and we can sing together across the world. Okay.
We
Should we
ready?
start? Yeah.
1,
3,
2,
2.
3.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
Happy
Happy birthday
birthday
to
to you.
you.
Happy
Happy
birthday,
birthday,
dear
dear
Lotus Dawn.
Lotus.
Happy
Happy
birthday
birthday
to
to
you.
That's beautiful. So beautiful. Thank you. Oh my gosh. Your love. I feel it.
you.
I give you all like this super big hug across the planet to all of you and squeeze your hands and just love on you and just so much love and gratitude for your beautiful presence. Thank you for being in
Hugs
my
to
life.
you, Lotus.
Oh, please.
I know you're thanking us, but you're also like such a, I think your personality and like you have such a huge heart and just your kindness and your care and your love for other people and like your deep commitment to being of service and to making a difference and to healing and having people be connected to themselves is just so beautiful. So thank you for sharing that. And on your birthday, no less. So super appreciate that. So sending you much love.
Oh.
And I have to tell you that I was in well I've always loved lotuses, but you're actually the first lotus that I've met as a person. And I think Vietnam actually has their national flower, I think is a lotus. But I was in Bali and I got this, I have to show you. It's like a hand painted silk with lotus on it. So I thought I would also oh, I love lotuses too, but yeah. I was thinking about you too. So
They're so beautiful. If you've never gone into a field of lotus flowers in the water, you just it's like heaven. They're like intoxicating. Like they smell like root beer and vanilla. It's bizarre. Thank you so much, Alicia Law. I love you. Thank you, Lily Ma.
love
Thank
you
you,
lots too.
Anna. Thank you, Stefan. I appreciate you all so much. Now, please go and hydrate and eat and snack and celebrate because you're freaking 100 pounds lighter now. And the world is 100 pounds lighter and the world will never be the same. It will be expanded and more open and more free. And so what a gift. What a ripple we have created in our own lives, out in the world, and to our friends and our family. And thank you so much for being a part of this. Really, we're changing the world. So thank you. And I will see you tomorrow at 5 o'clock, and we will do more amazing astrological magic that just always just keeps getting better and better. So sending you love. Go forth. Be blessed. I love you all and see you soon.
Cool. See you guys.